We're gonna get you demonetized.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Believe it or not, the sun will be joining us momentarily. I believe that's what he said. Not for you or me or anybody else. He just wants to hang out with Connell, who he hasn't seen in forever. So
Yeah. Poor
lucky him,
Connell.
lucky us. I don't know. So how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Another day, another holler.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really good feast, Thanksgiving wise.
Yeah.
I started cooking at about 10 a.m. and finished at about 3:30. And I kid you not, this is the longest time the boys sat at the table since I'm guessing probably last year, a whole 25 30 minutes. I made the full spread, baby back ribs, deviled eggs, green bean casserole,
Did you
potatoes au
take the
gratin.
devil? Did you do what I said with the double eggs and take them and bread them and deep
Not
fry?
yet. We still got like 30 left, so there's still time for that. And of course, his favorite thing, not the baby rack ribs, not the scalloped apples, not the green bean
No.
casserole, the usual.
Uh,
Nope, deviled eggs and the potatoes au gratin. He practically ate all of the potatoes, and I made a big freaking 2 3 quart dish of
Not a
them.
fan of them.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I wouldn't eat potatoes, and my mom and dad would make those and tell me it was okra.
There are two kinds of potatoes, fried and mashed, and they both come with copious amounts of gravy.
And what would potato chips fall under?
Fried.
Okay.
French fries. French fries.
Hey, Connell, how you doing, man? You awake?
But
Barely. I'm
A
here.
little too
potato
much to
chips
drink?
aren't chips.
No, just a long day of cooking.
Yeah, same here.
Did you have ribs?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I was looking at the picture. I'm like, that fucker had ribs.
We always have ribs.
Fuck it. I'm coming to.
I
I'm
make
coming
some
to your
pretty good
house.
ribs. Make some pretty good ribs. Uh,
Buddy up here said he is making a wild boar. That's his Thanksgiving dish,
Oh,
wild
yeah.
boar. I'm like,
wow.
so what
It
time are you
sounds better
eating?
than turkey. The turkey being the worst of meats.
Well,
I mean, it is.
I made a spiral ham, and I made
Good man.
turkey.
Bad
Uh, just
man.
I just it Thanksgiving is not about me. It's making food for those people who want that food. I asked everybody what they wanted, and what they wanted ended up on the fucking table.
Yep. Well,
But
Me,
you need to tell them that they'll get what they want as long as it's what you tell them they want.
yeah. I can make a pretty good turkey, but it all goes to waste, and I'm not a fan, so I gave up on that. Even though Jackie's family's stole my recipe and they make it every year now, and I'm like, cool, cool.
well,
As long as
I
it's
don't do
fresh.
the full bird. I only do like a bone-in turkey breast. I don't do the full bird anymore.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of dark meat, so I would do the same thing.
So
But
whatever left is going to be put in the refrigerator until Sunday.
There's an
They
R in that word, you damn hick American.
refrigerator
Refrigerator.
I
into
thought it
the
was
ice box, into
Okay,
the ice
I
box
accept that as an alternative.
until
yep.
Sunday. Then it's going to be turned into a turkey soup with noodles.
I was gonna say that's a neat trick, turning it into chicken.
Oh well,
Abracadabra. You're now a chicken.
abracadabra.
Ah.
I do like this cutter. I like this
Sorry,
cutter more
the
than I
door.
thought I would.
Ooh, cigar cutter.
So,
I like them. I like them, but I refuse to have them around me because I watched what was that Liam Neeson movie? Fuck.
uh, Shadow? No.
Uh, not Blank Man. That was the parody.
Dark,
Dark Man. Dark
Dark
Man.
Man.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that movie way too many fucking times as a kid.
that's
It was almost on the Burbs rotation,
what
which is like twice a weekend. I watched the Burbs.
get you some.
No, no, I'm standing.
Hello.
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 You're looking less fancy than normal.
I know. I was gonna wear something like not actually fancy, but apparently dinner was like 30 minutes before I expected it to be. So I was just getting out of the shower, so I had to throw on like a flannel, and that was it. But it was actually way tighter than I expected. So I put on this, but it was too cold, so I threw the vest on.
So, did your girlfriend come over for Thanksgiving?
Well, I like being cold. I'm not complaining. It's just a statement of fact.
That will help when you marry a good Catholic woman and she turns frigid on you.
What?
Connell is being jaded. And
No, I
fat.
don't even know what that means. Say that again.
Frigid. You'll grow up good, have a good job, and get married to a fine, proper Catholic woman. And midway through the marriage, after your third kid, she turns into a frigid bitch. And you liking the cold will actually be a benefit.
Oh, haha, very funny.
So you gonna sit here?
No,
You gonna sit over there?
no, I'm just standing.
So I heard you. Well, last time I heard, it's been a while. You had a date for homecoming. What's his name?
How much did your dad pay for him?
Okay.
Was he an interviewer for the couch?
I'm confused. What?
They're calling you gay, and that I paid for your date.
Oh no.
I'm not saying that. I'm just running with the joke because Connell went way too far. I admit that Connell went way too
He
far.
went too far. He gets that from his dad, so there's that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
I know.
Anyways, I'm standing.
Well, school's good. You're doing good.
He's stealing your water now.
Joke's on you. That's not water. That's tequila.
Even better.
Vodka on the rocks. So how about you, Connell?
Vodka.
Forever.
Vodka. It's over there.
I've been. Well, as you two know, I
Is it me
bought
or does
into
the
a
stuff
cigar
like it's
lounge.
gonna tip over?
So I say that again.
I bought into a cigar lounge. I'm a partner at a cigar lounge / bar, and I didn't think it was going to turn into a 9 to 5, but kind of turned into a 9 to 5.
You should have stipulated silent partner in the
And
contract.
absent.
Well, that's the definition of a silent partner.
I don't mind it. It's fun. I get to hang out with some cool people. Rule number 1 is no politics, which that rule gets ignored all the damn time.
Especially on a day like today, I would hope.
A cigar lounge would be a subcategory of a men's club, and if you're not talking politics or business, you have no right being there.
That's I get that.
Connell, is it me or is your shelf about to tip over behind you?
It's just you.
It seriously looks like it's leaning that way or that way.
There's a cloth on one, and the other one's a shadows.
The white one looks like it's gonna friggin'
Yeah, it's
No,
good.
it's shadows. It's the shadow
Yeah,
on
no,
the
that's
shelf.
just you.
okay.
And if it does fall over on me, you get some cheap entertainment tonight.
I mean, fair
I
enough.
love that smell. It's like
You just stop
hair
that.
or something.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, you still doing the not Boy Scouts of America, ROC
Yes, I am still doing that.
LGBTQ. I don't know where the hell it is.
KROTC.
Yes, I am still there.
Are you still doing the LGBTQ plus?
It's a very different question.
I heard a yes.
So did I.
I wasn't answering that question. How did
Son
that
like father. This
it-
bottle is so fucking old, the label is fading away. There's literally
are you,
color fade.
So how far up that particular chain have you gotten?
I'm the finance director, so that's cool.
So everybody's 10 times poorer than what they started off to be. Gotcha.
No, we've actually made like $5,000.
Nice, nice. Now, remember,
How many grandmas does you swindle?
I'm sure there were a few involved. I mean, fundraisers, it's only natural. I think they got something from it. I don't remember.
do you guys do like the booster clubs where you guys have pancake dinner, spaghetti dinner?
You are doing it properly, right? You set up a non obviously noted recurring fund charge to their accounts for donating to you, so they get Zing for like $6.95 each month.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you gotta set it up, man.
Oh, go talk to former Congressman. Hey, Raven. Was
Raven,
it
where the
George
hell are you?
Santos?
Yeah, I sent you the link. Get your ass in here. Since Jackie's not going to suck up one of the spots, which
Oh, no,
he
I
should.
will. Just later.
Oh, okay. His camera's not working, so
I don't have a camera.
Well,
It's not working.
it's not working
12-year-old
because you don't
Absolute
work
Vodka and Dr. Pepper taste great.
I can't drink right now. I just can't drink right now for reasons.
Family?
No, a minute. Relapse.
Real alcoholism?
I'm having to go see a doctor once a week. Sit down in a chair for about 4 hours a week. You're all intelligent enough to figure that one out.
But dialysis?
Nope, chemo.
That's what I figured, but it's like sitting in
I
a
said
chair.
that one already and you didn't answer, so.
Well, this guy's not the brightest, so.
Well, no, I knew about the other one, but you sit in a chair. That the other one, I thought you laid down.
No, chemo. You sit in a chair.
Oh, okay, well, I'm sure you'll be fine.
I am. It's what the doctors call a lung cyst. It's just a cyst, but it could grow cancerous, so they routine this. Okay, guys.
I mean, yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of them going in and cutting it off.
Yeah. That's odd, TCG, because Chainsaw Juggling Midgets showed up in chat on our end. If you're saying it didn't show up on YouTube, well, sucks to be you.
Hey, now.
Over now.
Oh, hey, I haven't seen that name in a while.
Yeah, what's happening, Omen? He's in my Sunday game every week. So is Justin. So is Raven when she shows up.
Well, I haven't been around in a while, so. Oh, gosh.
Well, Uncle Connell's been kind of MIA. I mean, I've gone on a bear show a few times. I've gone on a few other people show. I need to get back to ours. To be completely honest, just don't have it in me right now. And I don't have to worry about Shadow taking over because Shadow's calendar of shit that he has to do is filled out for the next 30 years.
Yeah, I'm really upset that you guys didn't weren't there to watch Predestination. You guys would really like Predestination.
I actually have a counter. I have a counter to any of
No,
the
that's my tablet downstairs.
for any of the for the two nonsense movies that fucking Jack made me watch. I have a count. I finally found a counter that I want him to watch.
I only made you watch one bad movie, okay?
Oh no!
Mm.
All but one were bad movies. The only good one was Glory.
Yeah.
It wasn't Glory. It was what was that Mexican one?
No, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know, but what was it called?
For great,
Oh,
you're being a nerd emoji.
well, because Glory is an actual other movie and it's awesome.
Yeah, you're right. That one is with the guy who killed people in Ireland and about Civil War.
Bates, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, drunk driving killed 2 old women because he was rich and white. Skated on by.
Matthew Broad.
I don't know Britain like British Isles lore, so
Glory with the Civil War movie.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Morgan at young Denzel
Yeah,
Washington and Morgan Freeman. It was a really good movie.
Oh yeah.
But
White.
no, but the other movie I want you to watch, Jack, which we'll do a special. It might not be a weekly thing, but Christmas break is coming up, and you can get this movie on Amazon Prime, and you and your dad can sit down and watch it. The miracle of this movie.
You can get it on
100
Tubi for less.
Yeah, for Tubi for less. Yeah, well, it's free on Prime. It's called Hundreds of Beavers.
I feel like I've heard that before. Nothing about it. I just heard that.
You have to have Prime to get it on Prime. So if they don't already pay for, do you pay for Prime?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's different.
As much new studio stuff as Shadow has to get for his other side room, of course he uses Amazon Prime.
It's how he gets the Astroglide there on time.
True.
I love that everybody just goes along with this, Shadow. It makes it so much more fun for me.
It's a good thing I got a full belly. Hey, knock that shit off.
Yeah,
Dude,
you might you might pop one of his.
Stop moving, I won't
I'm
be
not going to
seeing it.
stop moving because then you'll not have a reason to stop doing that shit.
Oh, everybody out there who's watching this, make sure you look at for Shadwell Production.
Oh yeah.
Shadwell Productions.
Get your paws off that. I will just change it as soon as you leave.
I'm not leaving.
Okay, great. We can do a 24-hour live stream. Awesome.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm never leaving.
You just said I'm never leaving.
Hey, Connell,
No,
can you do me a favor? Can you
Yeah.
go to the sidebar and hit the 3 dots by Shadow's account? And just reverse the W and the O.
Wait, can
I
Connell do
can't
that?
do it. I
Yeah,
can't
Connell
do
can
that.
do that. Yeah, most certainly you can. You click on this thing on the side. There's 3 dots.
Wait, but this isn't Connell's stream.
Oh shit! Fuck! I'm thinking of the other night.
Yeah, I should have joined you guys last night. I wish I did.
Sunday night.
Yeah, the other night.
Yeah. Shadow, can you do me a favor? Can you
No.
click the $3?
No, it's not going to happen.
Can you click the 3 dots by your name over there?
Hey, Jack, go turn on like a faucet next to that room so your dad has to get up and go pee. Then
Yeah.
we need you do us a favor.
Okay, Jack, can you do me a favor? Reactivate that iPad downstairs and quickly run down and get it.
But then he'll change this side.
Damn
I guess
right.
you can't see it anyways, so it's not as important. But it's not going to change his name here. It's just going to change the one down there that he's going to kick out.
Yeah, but it's the same account.
Will it change?
Yeah, because when it popped up, it just created 2 accounts of.
What was that?
Was that a Duolingo noise?
Yeah. You
I never
got
seen
any-
that noise anywhere.
Why are you being a less crappy American and learning a second language?
So actually, this would be the 5th language I'm trying to learn.
Shut up.
Well, you gotta master
all-
one before you can really move on, don't
That's
you?
not true.
We all know there's no such thing as an American that can fully speak 2 languages, let alone even know what a 3rd one is.
Well,
These are the rules. He does not count. He works at Home Depot. Well, sorry, out front of Home Depot.
I spent like half my childhood in Ireland. So yeah,
Doesn't matter. The second you cross that border, those languages just like.
Sorry. I think
It's like the border crossing guy just has like a rock. And it just like ties you down and just pounds you in the head until you can't speak.
I'm of the opinion that every child that goes to school should be forced to learn a second language.
Yes, and it's
Oh,
my
no, I
opinion
agree.
that second language be Klingon.
So what was that, Jack?
I am agreeing with you.
I mean,
What was that? What was that fake language that they created in the '60s or '70s that Captain Kirk was an advocate
Klingon?
for? No, no, no,
Esperanto?
no. Esperanto. Yeah,
Esperanto's not.
yeah.
Esperanto was made way earlier.
Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't
It's
fucking
also a
matter.
dumb language, but you know,
Yeah, it's made up. It was supposed to be like the universal language.
even though that already existed and it was Latin, but who cares?
Yeah.
Most of Esperanto was Latin, bro.
There was also like Polish and other stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's a weird language.
But yeah, it should be Esperanto or Klingon, or just Klingon.
So like the two most useless languages to know.
No, if everybody spoke Klingon because they were required to learn it at school, it would cease to be a useless
wanna
language
sit over
because you
here?
could talk to people with it.
Looks uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah, it looks kind of weird. We only see the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
why?
Go grab a chair and sit down next to your dad.
I'm not. Fine, I'll go over there.
But then we can't see you. And who just joined
That's
us?
fine.
The
No,
Raven.
come on, come join us.
Join
it's
us,
crafting.
join us.
What's up,
Crafting.
crafting? One of us. One of us.
Istron Minyalas.
Great. Next
Oh.
thing I do is grab his
So he's singing it, Klingon?
Kapla.
I don't know.
How you doing, crafting?
Shkla.
High on
How's
my
your,
back
uh,
medication because my back twicked out today.
Woohoo! Best crafting.
Was that turkey too heavy for you?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm quite modest in how much I eat for dinner. Now, when it comes to dessert, well, give me the big old slice of pie or even two.
It's in Discord.
I'm on. I checked.
Go to the Shadow and Sun Discord,
That's right where I am.
and it's on the very top of the Shadow and Sun where it says live stream links.
Oh, I'm not on that side.
Shadow? I mean, not Shadow. Come on, Jack.
I told him where it was in plain English, but I guess, he'll be here shortly.
No, I speak. I mean, I'm not great at them anymore. If you drop, I found that if I'm immersed in a certain area where that language is spoke, hey doc, it normally comes back a whole lot easier for me than me just randomly blah blah blah. So, but now I learn Italian.
Howdy, Doc.
I learned some French.
Hello.
I believe it's pronounced "What's up,
Yeah.
Doc."
Where?
Personally, or like anywhere.
You're not.
You know, I'm not. I've never been there.
You've never been to Arch.
No, not once.
Go. Get the fuck out of here. Go.
Gladly.
What's his problem?
He's not in the Discord.
He's not literally on the Shadow and Sun Discord at all.
I told you that several times.
How's that happen?
It's okay.
He doesn't
What?
like you.
It's gay.
I mean, I guess you would know, but still.
I was about ready to say he's going to say that's gay, and somebody's going to show him one of these days what gay is.
I'm pretty sure there is no one that
Well,
can
he
show
is
Shadow
joining
and
the Air
Sun.
Force. So
Yeah, but that's not
That's
the
the
Navy.
Navy. Also, already someone liked it on the stream, and he's sitting in that chair right there.
where the fuck are you?
There's nobody that can show Shadow what it means to be gay.
After all, he's so old. He's the guy. He's the first homosexual there ever was.
Yeah.
So you're saying Shadow is from ancient Rome, therefore he's really Julius Caesar, and he's a power bottom?
Well, he was white, yeah, but no, he's older than that. Literally, you know the
should
joke
actually look what the
from
Romans did to
History
gay
of the World
people.
Part. The first homo sapien. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What's with the echo?
No, here's
I'm
the
getting
thing, Connell.
What's up with your mic there,
yeah,
crafting?
It's not me. I have headphones.
Yeah. Ever since you put your hand in front of the monitor there, Shadow. This is why I tell you guys gotta have headphones. Or monitors. Monitors are fine. They sit over the back of your ear. And you hear from there.
Definitely not me. I just muted myself and it's still there.
I hear Shadow talking, but Shadow's not talking. It sounds like there's a video being played in the background.
Well, to me, it sounds more like demonic recording somewhere.
Yeah,
Same difference.
yeah. It sounds like
What's up, Xnard?
reverb. Yeah. Shadow, did you have the stream running in the background?
No.
Did you touch something and it stopped?
Yeah, I went over to Discord.
Let's see. If my pet are going to pay for mandatory Spanish in public schools,
Yeah, I could get on board with that. We gotta just
Conquering
buy
Mexico.
Mexico.
The
Buy
problem with
Cuba.
that is then now there's absolutely no restriction on labor from that country because they would be citizens or some shit. Unless you can like push them all into South America, which, you know, you guys support another country doing that, so might as well do it yourself.
Hey, Cal. What's happening?
I don't know.
Hope you're ready for Sunday.
Why are you popping the thing up on the screen when it's already on the sidebar?
I don't know.
Jack
Mostly
coming
just
back.
Nice.
Oh,
Not much, just chatting and waiting for excuses to post silly, controversial comments.
oh,
That'll be Jackie.
Watch, it's Raven.
I know. What's up,
He
sport?
changed his picture.
Yeah, what is your picture? It's tiny.
It looks like either a lizard or either wearing a wizard wearing a poncho or a raccoon wearing a poncho and a sombrero.
I can't make the joke that I want to now
Why? Just make it anyway.
because I'm trying. You said it looked like a raccoon, so first thing my brain went to, so he's got a trash panda. Then he's like, it looks like it's wearing a poncho. I'm like, I can't. There's no. I can't make. There's no crossover. Damn it. You know what you
I don't
call?
know. What do you call a Chinaman and Mexican that had a kid together? Condor DM?
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
You know
Well,
what you
Connell's
get
what
when you-
happens when you pair a dwarf with a hobbit.
That's
I
too
know
nice.
Baron likes to say I'm like what 3 foot something.
That's very generous. I took you at
I'm
like 2
5
nothing.
fucking 9 years. I'm 5 freaking
You're five fucking years old.
I heard 9 years old, but
Yeah,
He
You
said
gotta-
5'9", so he's actually 5 years and 9 months.
there you
Yeah.
go. That works.
Let me. I got my measuring tape right here. We'll see how tall Connell is.
I'm 5 foot
Besides,
9 inches.
that was a backhanded compliment. I was saying you're buff too.
Well, you know,
Close.
Right there. I see it right there. It says right there, Connell 2 feet.
well, if
He's
I'm
2 feet tall
standing
and
up-
5 feet wide.
if I'm standing up, you know, I'm 5 foot 9 inches. If I'm laying down, I'm well,
7 feet tall.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't
6
think that's where he was going with that joke, but
Sorry, I shouldn't be. I got a lot of practice. My brother's a big guy. He's like 2 of you.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say that you know, there's like 107 bones in the human body, unless I'm watching the Gilmore Girls, and there's 108.
I thought there was like 200, but whatever. Yeah, I get the joke. Yeah. I make that same joke all the time. I do it directly on the Gilmore Girls Reddit page.
Besides, And when it comes to me, I have family members like my aunt has lost weight since then, but there was a time if my aunt jumped in the air, she'd get stuck.
Shadow, were you ever a fat kid, or have you just always been scrawny as hell?
No, he used to be
I'm
a cop.
actually like 40, 50 pounds overweight right now. What are you talking about?
So still scrawny as hell.
Compared to the rest of us.
I mean,
I'm working on it. Hey,
I
what's up?
feel like I should like send you a hamburger, be like one of those Jewish grandmas, and send you food.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, be an Italian grandmother. Send them good food.
Hey, what's up, off grid? Jackie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
You know, I've been rewatching The Sopranos, which I love that show. It was a great show for the time. Because of that show, we got a lot of other shows down the pipeline. But watching The Sopranos makes me crave Italian food and smoking cigars. I can't imagine why though.
You like smoking cigars? They smoke them a lot on the show, so you
And Italian food is awesome.
and just like Italian
Yeah, are
food.
you talking true Italian food or American Italian food?
True Italian food.
Well, are you talking true Italian food or post First World War Italian food?
That's fair. So, before World War One, or yeah, World War One. I'm talking old Sicilian Italian food.
Yeah. If you know the difference, the tomato is not indigenous to Europe for the most part. So before World War One, there was no tomatoes in Italian food.
Don't get me wrong, I do like my tomatoes, but as I've gotten older, tomatoes don't like meat.
Hmm.
Acid reflux.
Really?
Yeah, when you wake up
That's
when you wake up in the wake up midnight because you had a great big bowl of pasta with red sauce, and it feels like you're about ready to breathe fire because of acid reflux.
Do you add beef to it?
Beef. If I'm making sauce, are you talking about sauce just in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
beef
yeah.
as in if I'm making something like a pasta dish with beef?
Just adding it to your red sauce. Just adding like a little bit of ground beef to it.
I'll add
Heavy
ground beef.
fat. Heavy fat.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to get the fat in that.
I like if I'm making ragu, I will do pork. I'll do beef. I'll do a few other things.
Because it's supposed to help with the acid reflux. That and taking a couple of stalks of celery and cutting them super fine and grilling them so they're soft.
Somebody told me
Then
adding a
adding that
carrot,
too.
adding like a baby carrot.
might be. Cut it fine or grate it.
Yeah,
Just like you would almost so it dissolves into the sauce. These are all things that will help with the acid reflux, or should anyway.
I think after I'm done with The Sopranos, I'm just going to be watching every Martin Swayze, whatever his last name is, movie.
Scorsese.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
I can't get into gangster mafia anything.
A lot of them are like so wrong. Like they're not right. There's like it's like the pirate voice. The pirate voice is made up from the
Cornwall, isn't it?
the actor for Treasure Island made it up. The 1930s one.
Oh, the whole
1940s one.
R, mate.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Cornish accent?
Yeah, I think so. But it's not real. It's like a Hollywoodism. And that's the same with most like all mob movies.
Yeah,
Except
no,
for-
Tomatoes Prime were in Europe. The problem is back then the tomatoes and the type of if it wasn't ceramic plating, but if it was like a lead based plates, it would have the acid would have a reaction to the plate and made it where people didn't think tomatoes were safe. Plus, tomatoes are a distant cousin of the Belladonna family. So are potatoes,
So-
to be honest.
They were believed to be poisonous or the demon fruit or something like that for a very long time. On top of which, the European versions are smaller, more acidic, and well, being acidic, more bitter. So, and
Yeah.
like Connell said, if you used lead plating or whatever, which was very popular for a very long time, lead in cookware.
I mean,
E-
the Romans had
well,
lead pipes for their water.
lead in high quality, even the ceramic cookware was very popular up till the 18th century. Um, and then it's just tradition. Uh,
No wonder our
what?
ancestors were retarded.
Well, no, it takes a lot
Mm,
more than mild lead exposure. You
yeah.
also have to lose a lot of weight afterward because it gets absorbed into fat. Uh, but like the most popular tomato you'll use is the old German, but the old German family of tomatoes, which is a German family of tomatoes. That's the big hearty one that most people like.
Beefsteak.
Beefsteak.
Yeah, it's in that family. They're from like the 70s, maybe a little before that. Like they didn't exist before that because a lot of those strains just like are like botany is a thing, right?
Hmm.
uh I know way too much about tomatoes. I grew tomatoes for like 3 years, and I don't mean like in my backyard. Professionally, I grew tomatoes.
Plus, a lot of here in the states, a lot of the tomatoes we get at grocery stores are not truly ripe. They normally ship to wherever green, and they spray paint them with whatever until there's whatever color they want it to be.
Yeah, that's well, they have that those moisture sprayers over
Yeah.
the veggie section, which does fucked
The
up things
blisters.
to your to your.
Beef actually, a lot of the beef is the same way. Because when I was working a butcher shop, a lot of it had a little bit of a brownish tinge to it. Not because it was bad, just the blood has been drained out of it. Then they run it through the machine, and it just injects like basically
Dye, just
dye into it.
yeah,
Yeah,
food dye, which is disgusting. Um,
everybody loves sausages, but no one wants to see how it's made.
yeah, that's one thing I would be hard on is banning food dyes like in the commercial setting. If you want
Well,
to buy food
we
dye,
might actually see some of that in the coming year.
yeah, I
Said
doubt
might.
it
Said
because
might.
because your buddy boy there also wants to remove the ingredients labels from packages and cut funding to the agency that does
That
testing.
makes no sense, dude. Why would anybody
I
want?
know half the stuff he wants are contradictory to the other half, right?
I would literally need to hear him say that he
You
wants
can
to.
go look at his list of
You
uh
on True Social?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on True Social.
Yeah, go listen to Kennedy. Well, what's his fucking name?
RFK.
Kennedy.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
RFK. Go listen to RFK's. Like you can read his list of like things he wants, and like one thing will directly prevent the other thing, right? And it's like,
I don't think
why?
he's gonna get. I honestly be surprised if the Senator approves him.
Well, it's that, and if he's not that, he'll be a czar. So like a
Well, he can just
spokesperson.
recess him in for the first 210 days. He doesn't need Congress or the Senate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait,
but
huh?
yeah,
I leave for 2 seconds and now politics has
Yeah.
arrived?
Yeah. Brainworm Bro wants to do a bunch of stuff that contradicts the other stuff he wants to do.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
or would make the things he wants to do like non-enforceable.
Gates
Uh,
is
Hmm.
putting poison into the cows fed in the UK to minimize farts. Okay.
yeah. can you find me a source on that, bro? And not one from Prison Planet or something like that.
I don't know. It should be an interesting for. It should be an
Hey, what's up,
interesting
Janet?
series.
I thought you were
Yeah.
doing a show, Janet.
It's probably ended by now. Nobody showed up to her show as a guest, so
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
it was her first show in 2 weeks. So I'm not too surprised. No offense to Janet, but when you disappear for a little while, people have other things they scheduled to do. Plus, on top of that,
Yeah.
it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Whoa, was that the
It's not
smoke
like the show
detector?
was that many people, anyways.
Did I clearly hear the smoke detector?
Literally, no sound was heard or happened.
I heard a loud squeak.
Wait, all
That's
over
that's
X.
what I heard, Doc. Same thing.
I would not actually try to get. I would not put your faith in Twitter as long as Elon Musk is the one at the helm.
Well, it's
What?
no worse than it was before.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
it's
no
not
better. Go.
Like,
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, really, people only freaking out because Musk bad. It
Yeah.
really, it's like, at worst, there are some more people. There are more bad people that are just bad in a different direction than there were before. But really, it's not to sound like they're all the same, but like effectively.
I just love the fact that the wife of WWE Canadian top hat Vincent McMahon's wife is going to be on the board of education, Department of Education.
Well, what's up?
Yeah.
Sorry, George. When you said don't worry about it, I didn't worry about it. You want to pop in? You know where the link is, bro.
I don't know. So I guess the Department of Education will force pro wrestling rings in every gym, and we will learn how to do. Oh yeah, as part of our education system.
I heard it again, and that sounds like an improvement for the healthcare system.
Education.
Education.
Yeah, everybody. If more people knew how to throw a punch, we'd see a lot less lead being, thrown down range.
Well, that's
No,
no, because one group of people would support normal fighting, and the other person would retaliate. The other group of people who are allowed to get away with, what do they call it?
Everything.
Urban combat. Which is
Yeah.
a
Speaking
term
of,
that was
how
used-
is Chicago there, Connell?
Chicago. You want to bring up the city that has been known to be one of the most corrupt cities in America since day
There-
fucking two. Not much has changed.
There was literally a investigation into corruption in that city, and the State Department dropped the case because everybody that was found guilty of corruption had a melanin count higher than normal average for the country.
It's Chicago. Chicago will always be Gotham. Unfortunately, Chicago doesn't have a Batman.
there have been
It had
times
Black Man.
where
Go, sorry.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say. What?
So, we were trying to remember Dark-Man earlier, and I mentioned Blank Man. Blank Man was a satire.
Oh, Blankman with the Wayne.
Yeah.
Damon
Yeah.
Wayans.
I heard. Doesn't matter.
Have you ever watched Blank Man, bro? You need to leave the stream right now and go watch Blank Man.
Blank Man. Yeah,
Blank
where he was
Man.
kind of retarded, but a superhero.
No, not
No.
kind of. Was retarded.
Yeah. No. Someone that
Maybe-
Jackie really needs to watch is Toxie, the Noxious Avenger.
What? I know Toxic, the Toxic Avenger.
I thought it was Noxie, the Toxic Avenger, or Toxie, the Noxious. I don't remember. A friend of mine forced me to watch that series.
The series, the whole like 30 film series or whatever it is.
I agree.
I thought it was only
100%,
20, but okay,
X-Mark.
I've seen
Close enough.
2/3 of it then.
Black Man.
If there's 30, I've only seen 2/3.
Yeah, I don't know how many there were.
Number
It's
two,
about
I'm
30.
always of mixed feelings about. And well, number one, war with Russia. I can tell you how that was end. Red
Not
button
good.
versus red button.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that Omen out. New Orleans is more corrupt than
Blank.
Chicago, but if you live in Illinois and somebody wants to pull a punt, take a swing at you, you say fucking Chicago. That's like saying, so is it now safe to drive your car in LA after night? No, it's not. But that's fucking LA in California. So every state has that. Well, not every state, but there's a lot of states here in these United States that has that one city that is just a fucking shit show.
This is everything you need to know about Blank Man. And that is a bed sheet he's wearing as a cape.
That is immeasurably based.
This movie came out in the freaking 90s. Have some respect.
1994, motherfucker. And it's only an hour and a half long.
I mean, unfortunately, this movie is better than some of the movies that Jax made us watch.
Well, yeah.
Hey, I mean, maybe it's really good. I'm not saying it's not, but I only made you watch one bad movie. I don't get what the hate
I
is
don't
about.
know how you. What was that? Battle Wizard Ninja?
Okay,
Oh.
the Battle
I thought I
Wizard was
posted that somewhere.
phenomenal.
That
The
movie-
Battle Wizard was great. Okay,
That movie
and
was hot garbage.
what do you mean it was?
I
Hey.
mean, if you lit up a trash can and kept filling it while it was
Wait.
on fire, you'd have something very similar.
Hey, I gotta tell you this. That movie, Blank Man,
Wait, hold up.
it has Jason Alexander in it. You know, he's the dollar store version of Danny DeVito.
He's not even the dollar store. Come on.
Okay, he's the reject bin at the dollar store version.
He's
of
like
Danny
the
DeVito.
Salvation Army.
I'm being nice.
Don't be nice to that guy. He's a scumbag.
He was Duckman, motherfucker. He gets a star. Duckman.
Duckman was
Fucking
good.
Duckman. Hey, I know what you and Jackie are watching. Duckman.
Good luck finding it.
I was trying to get him to watch Babylon 5 or something, highbrow, classy like that, but
No. Duckman.
he's too cool for. Hey, what's up, Dean?
Good evening.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
I
you
can't
doing,
sleep. But happy Thanksgiving, except to Justin because he did it earlier.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't.
15th,
get two
motherfucker.
Thanksgivings.
October.
He's
What
already.
the fuck, man?
You're already husky enough. You don't need 2 Thanksgivings.
We had burgers.
We don't even do Thanksgiving correctly here in the
Burgers.
States, so whatever.
Yeah, you're supposed
you
to
doing,
drag some
Dean?
Indians to your table and make them watch you eat food.
So yeah, the treasure zone for Adventure Conquer King just hit 110K, which is the final milestone today.
Cool.
So that's pretty exciting.
I've got the original right here, so I don't know that I'll be backing it. Not to mention, I'm looking at a list right here, literally right here, of the 12 some odd Kickstarters I'm waiting on, and
He-Man and the Masters of Thadwell Productions.
no, never.
I
was
could
never a
see-
He-Man fan.
I could see He-Man, a parody of He-Man being done by Shadwell Productions.
Uh-huh.
But it won't
my
be...
name is Prince my name is Prince Adam, the gayest character in the 80s cartoons.
But there will be no sorceress. There's a sorcerer, and there's no Sheila or whatever her name was. What was the female sidekick that he had a crush on? She will be Twink Lord, the Twinkiest, replaced with that character. He's just a skinny dude.
If they can make a porn version of Pokemon, I have no doubt in my
Let's not
mind
go there.
the Shadow
It's
can make.
already been done.
Yeah, that's what he said. It had already been done.
Well, they did. They did do Flash Gordon. So who knows?
Flash Gordon. And what the fuck's with the smoke detector? I thought you killed that thing.
It's not coming from me.
I don't have
That's
one.
literally whatever that was. Did not come from me. Hold on. Can you see up there? You see my smoke detector?
Well, I
Yes.
thought you said you couldn't reach the thing.
No, I said I covered it in an entire roll of packing tape. There is no sound coming out of there. That's coming from somebody else's room.
That was a hell of a squeak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
I
Coming
don't
from,
hear anything.
Jack, I know you're a young man, but give it a rest. If you're gonna do that stuff,
Give what a rest.
Disclaimer: I'm too late to set up a soundboard, so it's not me. Okay,
I'm
careful,
hearing it
Jackie.
actually echo.
yeah. I know I know you got that strong Latin blood in you. You're gonna be Mr. Love when you grow up, but this is neither the time or the experience for you to try that. You already had one. Your dad
What?
already had one cranker on the show.
What's a cranker?
What are you talking about? I'm incredibly confused. What does this have to do with the police?
They think it's your bed springs making noises.
Yeah.
Does my bed even have springs?
All beds have. Well, that's not true.
No.
Well, if it's just a mattress on the floor, which I don't think this one is anymore, but
What the fuck? How ghetto are you outside of
And off grid, yeah, we've changed the batteries. It's not that, or it is some sort of short or something in the system.
The weird thing is I have no idea what you guys are talking about because I haven't heard a single thing.
What
So
are you black?
you've got some sort of timer and you're making this squeak deliberately.
I wish that would be a lot more fun than whatever this nonsense is.
Yeah.
So you're not pummeling the bishop
Behind the
in your
maple
room?
curtain.
Oh God! So I live in Central Illinois, and this was like, good God. Let's see, Meg is 14, so this has got to be like 17 years ago. I'm in Central Illinois, and there is we have a minor earthquake. Out of the blue, Illinois is not known for the earthquakes. It happens, but it's not like once. It's like once in a century type deal. It doesn't happen next ever, right? My bed goes has a full board spring orchestra, and I was so pissed off that I was not the conductor. So
that one did not land, bro.
oh, it landed. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it landed in the trash heap.
right next to most of Jack's picks for his movies.
Why do you hate them so much?
Because they are bad.
Because he
They're
didn't pick
really,
them
really
himself.
No.
Explain to me how the Battle Wizard, Xenophobia, the Star Wars 2. Explain to me how those are bad movies.
Star Wars 2. I don't know
Wow.
who just popped in, but we can only have 7.
No. Look
Wait,
at the
who just
screen,
popped in?
bro. Nobody popped in.
It says 7.
I put an image up on the thing.
Okay.
We're looking at Duckman right now. The
Okay.
most quintessential cartoon that Jackie needs to watch because it'll make him go through
Duckman.
puberty. Look, man, this is like great Duckman related content.
What?
Like this right here. Look, they did the girl from Ring before Ring was even a thing in Japan. It's Duckman.
The show was actually really good for when it was on.
94 to 97.
Didn't he and that his like sister-in-law or whatever the hell she was finally get together at the end?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I don't think Duckman ever aired in Denmark. What's it about?
Okay, so this guy, Duckman, he's a washed-up private detective.
So it's
And-
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Sort of. He's a washed-up private detective. He used to be a really good family man, but his wife died of like cancer or some shit.
It happens.
So he's stuck raising his 3 kids. And
one of
his,
them was like
his
a
sister-in-law moves in, and they're always fighting. And then he's like grandma. So you can really relate to this, Jackie, because you live this guy's life
Wait, what?
already. Well,
Does
you live one of his kids' lives.
wait, isn't the boys like
The twins are super smart, but the other one, which is I think younger but looks much older, is extremely retarded.
I was about to say, isn't one of the ducks like one body and 2 heads?
Yeah, maybe that's the twins.
Yeah, it was.
They're conjoined. I can't remember.
And
And then he has like a partner, Pigsworth or whatever his name was, who's like super smart.
yeah, he was the straight man in that scenario.
Yeah, and wholesome and shit. And then, Duckman is always like, he's the typical '90s TV character. He's always like reading Playboy and hitting on hot chicks and getting turned down and rebuffed and punched in the face and shit like that.
So it's Johnny Bravo before Johnny Bravo. Gotcha.
Yeah, but
Mixed with Howard the Duck.
mixed with Howard the Duck, and a lot more adult in both cases, except for that one scene in Howard the Duck where he almost gets busy with Thompson or whatever her name was.
Leah Thompson. Yeah.
Leah Thompson.
You know, back in the day,
She was smoking.
yeah. What was that? What was that movie she did? Some Kind of Wonderful. Yeah.
She did Howard the Duck. She was like topless for half a second in that movie.
Yeah, that movie was weird. It didn't need to show duck tits.
Yeah.
It,
No,
did, it didn't need to show bestiality.
I mean, if I wanted that, I would go watch the Beastmaster.
I don't think there was any actual
Yeah,
bestiality.
there was nothing even implied in that. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. How did
Well,
that?
we've all seen, to our own demise and regret, the shadow interpretation of Beastmaster.
What are you talking about?
You tied us down and forced us to all watch the guy you got to play Dar fucking a panther, or at least a guy dressed up like a panther.
Again, what the hell are you talking about?
That this is in the lore of Shadow now.
No,
What?
it's not.
It absolutely
What?
is. I get to make up this lore, and all these motherfuckers go along with it.
Lies, filthy lies.
So, crafting. What you've been crafting recently?
A girlfriend.
He's been making a diorama.
Technically,
Sorry,
I
go.
was working on diorama. Not abandoned, just kind of worked away from that project. I started getting frustrated. But recently, I have been. Literally about 4 years ago, I said I was going to make a lightsaber to send to Adam Savage. I'm just getting now around to finishing that project to actually send to Adam Savage.
Okay.
Sir, can you repeat that? You're making a lightsaber out of cabbage.
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
No, I said I'm making a lightsaber to send to Adam Savage.
Why would you send it to him? He's just going to throw it in the pile of other lightsabers.
Yeah, but he might get read on a letter bag or something like that. You should really make a diorama of Shadow's legally distinct Dar.
Crafting, are you just making the handle, or is it going to have the extendable clear blade? What's up with that?
It's just handle. It is made for bop it, so it doesn't have the ability to hold some of the stuff that could make it an actual blade. And it would have to be machined in a manner. I am. The old boppets are strong.
Yeah, it's injection molded plastic, bro.
Well, I'm
hearing
hearing
this,
this.
honestly.
What I'm hearing is he's making a lightsaber that can double as a fleshlight.
That's what I'm hearing too.
I don't know.
I have
Star
left
Wars
electronics
package,
intact. Thank you.
I want
wanna
to
get
see it when you're done
electrocuted.
before you send it, so that we, can see what you're capable of.
Oh, well, in this one's case, it's mostly just a paint job, but I have painted it up to look like the Jedi safety officer's lightsaber. They had a school full of children, so they got to have a safety officer. So it's dirty.
No,
It's got
no. You don't get the Star Wars universe. If they aren't safe on their own, they can't be trusted to be good Jedi, so they die.
They don't even wear underwear in that universe.
How many fucking kids do you think the Jedi Academy killed because they got into a bit of an argument?
At least one.
Oh, there is.
Per day.
I don't know if it's canon, but there is a comic strip talking about two Jedi children training. They were trying to use force push. One of them accidentally used a force blast and concaved the chest of the other kid, killing him instantly.
I mean, that sounds canon.
I don't know if
to
it's
Disney,
canon or not, but it wouldn't surprise me.
But I don't think it's canon, as in it's probably an old comic, and they said nothing past this point.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen the trailer for Skeleton Crew?
Yeah.
Nope.
It has Jude Law in it, so I'll watch. I'll watch it. At least the first episode.
Yeah, it looks cute. I'll admit what I saw, and I didn't even know it was Star Wars for a couple of minutes of the trailer, but it looked cute.
Well, only if they had kept it, not Star Wars.
Here's the weird thing about that. They have a lot of different a lot of different shows that come out of that universe. It tends to be a whole lot better than, as long as they stay away from the main storyline that we all fucking know, right? As long as they stay away from that, Mandalorian was actually the first season was pretty good.
Sorry,
Bubba.
Here's the thing. I'll agree with. I forgot who said it. I think it was a Star Wars fan. Anyway, the first three, we'll just say the first three that were made were a good ending to the series. The next three that were made were okay, other than they did a few things such as demasculating Darth Vader. But everything after that was not necessary for the storyline. Everything that came after that, no, you did not need to try to redo the main storyline or extend the main storyline. Everything after that have been stuff like The Mandalorian or off to the side. The main storyline of Luke and Darth Vader should have ended with episode
Return of the
6.
Jedi.
It mostly did in the books, right? Like that's the sad
I
thing.
mean, there is a lot of people who wanted like the Thrawn trilogy.
Thrawn, yeah.
Yeah, Thrawn trilogy as the sequel movies.
I wouldn't have minded. Thrawn was in the Corellian trilogy as well. And I really liked that storyline. That was the one, I think, where Han bought Leia the Moon.
Did any of you guys read Dark Empire?
Yes, I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. I was kind of bummed when the next movies came out. I'm like, you should have done this instead. It was way better.
Wasn't that the one
I'm
where
not
Mara
old enough
Jade
to have
was
that
introduced?
experience, but
Maybe.
Yeah, no, they didn't want to introduce any of these side characters from the prequel series because they would have had to buy the rights from the characters, the extended universe. That's why they scrapped it all.
Yeah, one of my favorite Star Wars offshoots is always going to be Knights of the Old Republic. They could go and do whatever the hell they want with that for decades. But
yeah, Cal, he's great.
Yeah.
That reminds me, if I ever get a male cat, I'm calling him Carl Kitan.
The cat won't know. You can just name him that anyway.
I don't know. I saw the recent Gladiator 2 movie. I liked it. I actually really enjoyed the sequel to Gladiator movie.
I have only two
Yeah.
issues with that. It had better be set in Africa because of how many black people are in it, as in commanding roles is how I should put that. And where the fuck are they going with this story? Because the original story was meant to be a one-off story. It was a guy living the last of his life trying to get revenge, and he succeeded.
Well,
What the fuck purpose is there for this movie? Now, if they had named it anything else, I wouldn't be bitching right now.
Well,
It-
people can't get enough of Russell Crowe, which is,
he wasn't in it though.
wasn't in it.
he was-
It would be like them making a sequel to what was that movie? It was a book. Fuck, the name was just right there in my head. The Prisoner of Monte Cristo, The Count of Monte Cristo. Making a
that's-
sequel to The Count of Monte Cristo, and all the major characters in it are Japanese.
Okay, first of all, let me
one of the greatest books of all time, and yeah,
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like,
the second movie. I can fire back on this. one.
well, at least the major.
All right. The actress that was in the first one came back for the second one, and it was part of this was dealing with her and her son Lucius,
Yeah.
and it was a story around Lucius when Lucius grew up and what went on, because if your father died, your brother died, and there was other people trying to get the throne at that time, which this is Roman history, they would stab a woman and kill her child without thinking twice.
Yeah, well, that happened everywhere.
So,
Or he would be used as a puppet. That happened throughout Rome just as many times, just killing a kid.
then with Denzel Washington's character, his storyline, what they say he was and who he and where he came from, it actually, and this movie starts off in Africa, so it makes sense.
I still think it's funny. Everyone has like that powerful Roman accent, and then there's Denzel Washington.
Speaking like he's from New York,
Yeah.
which is what the Critical Drinker said. I got third hand. 'Cause
How
I
was
don't
it,
watch that show.
So Highlander, there's a lot of people out there that love the original Highlander movie.
Yes, but that's funny. And
We
it
have-
wasn't during a time of racial tensions propagated by this crap. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, I like the second movie, but just not as a Highlander movie. It's a good standalone sci-fi.
I've said that many times.
Well, I enjoy Justin. This is probably the first time actually talking to you, Dean, outside of chat. You're both fucking wrong, and here's why. There's only one Highlander movie, then there's a TV series, then you watch Endgame, then you get off the fucking train. The second movie.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And the point we're trying to get at is if you had renamed Highlander 2 to like Space Shield with Christopher Lambert,
Okay,
what are you talking about? That
it
was
would
the
be a good
best-
film.
That was the best part of the whole franchise.
You're
Shadow-
fucking retarded.
Hold on, Shadow. Hold on, Shadow. As much as I adore you
AIDS have
as
gone
an
to your
older
brain.
brother, your son picks out shitty movies, so therefore we can only blame you.
Yeah. I assume it's the AIDS or maybe the clap or the
It's
herpes
neither, I assure you. I'm
or a cocktail of all. You are like that guy from that movie I made you watch a scene from the other day, The Gift. You know, the one
No.
we didn't get to see. The one where he says the doctors don't know all the diseases I have. Yeah, you're that guy.
It's like watching Sling Blade, only Shadow can talk properly.
Are you
Take care
sure
of
Shadow
him.
can talk
He is
properly?
Also, you can judge my taste. I'm the kind of person that like the theory of Darth Jar Jar, and kind of disappointed that wasn't a thing.
He got squared.
I like Jar Jar. Jar Jar got,
No, that's based.
got wrecked.
Juju, yeah, Jar Jar got fucked, bent over and fucked with his pants on.
Now, I do. If you were to tell me he was overdone in the movie, I would agree with that. He was just.
I mean, there was a little
zany
too much
sometimes.
slapsticks because he was trying to sell what do you call it, toys again.
Yes.
Oh well,
Just a little too much slapstick, like you say. But if they tone him down, maybe 5%. Brilliant little side character, just like
If you-
C3PO. which was the role he was supposed to be filling, C-3PO and R2-D2.
I can't fault them for wanting to fucking sell toys, because if they didn't sell toys off Star Wars, the first three, the second two movies would have never fucking happened.
Yep.
It was a toy
Had
sell.
George Lucas not kept the rights to all that, we wouldn't even be having these conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually really interesting, the story behind that. Not so much that he got the rights, but what happened afterwards. That like there were so many people who wanted more Star Wars. They bought so many toys that like the firm that he had like contracted with had to like
Nice
sell
shots.
temporary like paper like cardboard cutouts. People could like exchange for the real thing later. That was how much people wanted more.
Yeah. other
Wasn't
toy-
that
The
who
only
made
other
those?
toy craze I saw went the same way as the Star Wars did was fucking Power Rangers. When the Power Rangers first showed up,
Yep.
the toys, they could not fucking keep them. The stores could not keep them on
I had
shelf
the-
fucking fast enough.
I had the flip ones. Remember
Oh, yeah,
the flip
where
ones
it
where you
died
the thing
and-
and the head would flip around.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like the stupidest fucking thing ever because the rest of the body, like, hey, look at me! I took my helmet off. You can kill me now because I'm still wearing the power suit.
I mean, I also grew up in the era where we had 30-minute toy commercials that we called cartoons.
Yeah,
Prior,
know what
prior,
killed
to,
that?
prior to all that, though, Planet of the Apes was what.
fuck Planet of the Apes. You know what killed the toy commercials? Best show ever. I recommend you watch it. Like every single one of you is Captain Power. You ever see Captain Power and the Soldiers of Tomorrow?
Yeah,
That was
I
pretty
remember
dark,
that.
wasn't it?
It was a show for full on fucking adults that your kids were supposed to buy a laser gun spaceship and shoot the fucking targets on the screen because it had like a color panel on their chest or the buildings, so it would register and they would get points.
That's kind of meta.
Yeah, and because like it was like literally fully interacting with the show. You didn't need to do this whatsoever to watch it. You had to buy something, and that was the thing that like really got attention and ended the like using a show to sell products.
Really?
Laws passed.
It was funny. Hell, I
Wasn't
think I-
J. Michael Straczynski behind that? Or,
He
or
wrote that
involved in
show.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to toys, I even think I had a couple of the old. I don't have them anymore, but the American Gladiator show that was on TV.
Mhm.
I think they even came out with toys because I had Ninja Turtles. I had Thundercats. I had He-Man. Fuck GI Joe. Fuck Transformers. Because my first introduction to fucking Transformers was the fucking movie. My friends were like, Optimus Prime is a badass. Da 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 da. He gets fucking killed within the first fucking 5 minutes of the film. Like, oh, fuck
When you
this.
say a movie, do you mean the original cartoon or the Michael Bay one?
No, the original cartoon movie. It was a
Okay, so the one where, spoilers, Robot Jesus dies.
yes.
The
Well,
one
yeah.
with the Weird Al music in it, right?
Was that Weird Al?
No way, I think you're thinking of The Touch. You got the touch. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
the power. Yeah.
Wasn't
Well,
it like
Clint
Michael
Eastwood,
Jackson or
no.
something? like
I
that?
could have swore Weird Al did some music for the original.
I don't know.
I popped up a picture of Captain Power.
Okay.
I'm trying to sell this to Jackie right now. You want him to watch classic shit, man.
Man, oh no, that looks like a
Power.
RoboCop ripoff.
Okay, he
No.
did the song Dare to Be Stupid apparently was in the movie.
Man,
Or like on a CD.
Wow.
It doesn't look that bad.
yeah. It's
Well, that'd
more
be
like
cool, I guess.
They
Power
did- they had a
Rangers. More
budget.
like,
Like, I would love to see a TV show with like costumes like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And they had like a whole destroyed city thing going on. Like the whole world was after a massive nuclear war because they built like a machine overmind, and then it had these Overlord Dreadbots and these like stormtrooper guys that would go around digitizing people, which is just like vaporizing them.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me, isn't it? Is it just me, or does every sci-fi show either take place in a desert or Canada?
Yeah,
Can't they be the same?
yeah, we have a desert. We have a really big desert here.
Well, I
Uh,
mean more like Canadian forest, like around Vancouver.
Yeah, it's cheap to film here, bro.
I know you guys say that, but nowhere in my mind can I actually figure out what a Canadian desert would look like. Because I grew up with the Great White North. I'm like, oh, so it snows all the fucking time. But
Just
it doesn't.
picture like crystallized maple syrup covering the land.
They gotta be
Gotcha.
sticky. Like you can't sneak around there. It's like
Like Jackie's floors.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't know either.
Sorry, I haven't been paying attention. I'm reading a incorrect Wikipedia article.
You're better off. Just don't pay attention.
So what's the article about?
Well, it's not a
Article is
Wikipedia article. It's a wiki article for a, like, I guess, show that I'm
Are
interested in.
you
And it's
reading
wrong.
about Chris Chan again?
No, I'm not reading about Chris Chan.
He got married and is having a kid.
No, there was
Allegedly.
apparently a hypothetical. She's not pregnant, according to him.
I saw him say the baby was due in the
Wait.
summer.
Wait, this sounds like something that Uncle Connell Uncle Connell doesn't know.
I don't know how you guys even know who this guy is. I just found out about him.
Everyone knows who he is.
Yeah,
No,
he's
not a
literally
clue.
the most recorded person in human history.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Because it started with something awful, so that means it's awful.
Yeah.
Basically, there was like a thread of like, oh, weird people that met online, and then it was like, oh, there was this guy who like drew his own comic, and he like advertised it on our college or high school library. Also, he had this sign where he said like, looking for a boyfriend-free girl, and then it went downhill from there.
Just look up the word Sonichu.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of spare time.
It would take a lifetime to learn about the lifetime of content there is about.
I mean, there's literally 6-hour, what do you call it, documentaries on YouTube about him.
There are thousands of 6-hour documentaries on YouTube about him.
Why?
Because he's literally the most documented person in human history.
But why? I saw the guy. What's the appeal?
There's this concept called a lol cow, where like someone is just so odd and usually take bait very badly that like they're entertaining for people who don't have a lot going on in their life.
Yeah.
Why are you pointing at yourself, Connell?
Imagine.
I got right here.
Imagine Maury Springer, like Maury and Jerry Springer, had a love child on the internet, and you were able to interact with it.
And the tests
So
are in.
those
It's not
parents
your
are hoarders.
child.
And
Well,
then it raped its mother.
I got the impression he was like a Dr. Stephen Brule from what was that show? Oh God, those two Canadian guys, the blonde guy and the really kind of big heavyset guy, both very very awkward.
The guys from what was that? Strange Brew.
He one of the guys was Dr. Stephen Brule, but what was that like? Totally awesome. No, I don't know what it was called.
Because that goes with Totally Awesome. I can't remember.
No, the name of the show had a name like that. It was on Adult Swim for a while. Just these
God, that show is horrible.
right.
with Bill and
The epic.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Just everybody on the show was like just so like
bad.
what was
What
that
Trailer
other
Park
show?
Boys?
It was like Napoleon Dynamite, but on a lesser budget, kind of awkward. creepy, just a bunch of weirdos. Just look up Dr. Stephen Brule. That character was in that show.
The show with Bob and Dave.
Maybe
Hold on, I'm looking into it right now because I remember there being one of
it's
the.
just he struck me as that kind of a character, kind of like what Dean Powell was talking about, where it's just so cringy.
Tim and Eric's awesome show.
There you go.
Tim and Eric's awesome show. That was like it's in the same vein as
like Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know what anybody saw in that movie. I saw it. It was just
I know you will have to fight that out with James and Hungar.
I miss Hungar.
Yeah, he was on my show
Friday.
Yesterday. Was it
Man,
Wednesday?
Friday?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So right before I go
like
to
Saturday.
bed, as I say, yeah, right before I go to bed, I've been going through Shauner's category of Skyrim videos, and I fall asleep to him playing Skyrim. They're the best sleeping aid.
I could recommend other things, but this is a family show.
Well, I'm single.
Why would you recommend something? Whatever.
You'll understand.
Well, just
I don't even care about it anymore.
So my future, well, I'm thinking what's going to happen to Jacqueline is he's going to go into the Air Force. He is going to become a captain. He's going to do very well. Somewhere in all this, he will have a midlife crisis and find God. Then he'll get out of the military and become a Catholic priest. Then
I might still do that. I'm not actually 100% sure.
Then
I'm already Christian.
Okay.
So we will have about in 30 years Dan Brown's Angels and Devil story.
As opposed to the Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code was if you read the books, Angels and Demons was first, then it was the Da Vinci Code. They're actually really good books.
Yeah, I didn't mind them.
I mean, the Da Vinci Code, it was fine. It's just a thriller that you read it. Okay, I could read it in a day. I don't know about others, but
I gotta rewind the conversation, Jackie. What are you thinking about not doing the Air Force now?
I'm not 100% sure about it. It's not like I've completely written it out, but
you could do.
Man.
It'd be safer if you join the Navy.
I don't want you doing bombing runs over my country, from what I've heard Lindsey Graham wants to do.
Fuck Lindsey Graham.
I would do bombing raids over Canada. I would be fine with that. As long as I'm not dying for pride parades in Baghdad or whatever.
Yeah, Baghdad doesn't have pride. Okay.
Oh, that's
yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, I realized just wait. That was a good one. That was I took the hook on that one. Correct.
But yeah, man, it would be the same thing.
Jackie, promise me one thing. If you ever bomb any country, make sure you're playing heavy metal.
After you watched, what was that movie? Old age, Doctor Strangelove.
Hey, weird WWII.
What's up, Brian? How you doing? Happy Turkey Day, man.
Yeah.
The turkey coma is overcoming you. Yeah, I have to admit I did take a little a nap right after I ate.
We're going to go back in time to the first Thanksgiving to take turkeys off the menu.
That's funny because turkeys were not on the menu for the first Thanksgiving. But anyways.
Well, we need to go back in time and make sure they never get put on the menu.
I know they had plenty of pigs back then. Hell, even a roast chicken.
Wait, have you never heard that quote?
When Benjamin Franklin was when the nation of when America was finding out what animal they want to use as basically their mascot, Benjamin Franklin wanted to use a turkey because nowhere else in the world is a fucking turkey, and I wish he would have got his way, so I don't have to make fucking turkeys every goddamn Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I support making the turkey a protected animal so it can't be harvested for food.
Yeah, it's like Justin said earlier. It's the worst of the meats that we eat. It's
a fowl.
It's literally not so is a chicken, but it's literally not suitable for human consumption.
It's all right for dogs to eat it, though. I don't know.
No, no.
Really?
I have no problem taking the turkey, slaughtering it, and feeding it to another bird to plump it up, and then eating that bird.
I wish we would made the
Can you
dodo
imagine if
bird.
chickens were as big as turkeys?
Give
You
it
can get
time.
them pretty big.
Give it time.
That's
That
true.
would be freaking awesome.
Now, I still want them to like successfully breed that multi-winged. Like, I want each chicken to have an entire pound of wings when I slaughter it, so I can have like more chicken wings. Like,
I don't get the thing with chicken wings. There's hardly any meat on them.
that's why you need a lot of them.
I honestly prefer chicken breast or chicken fillet. I know that's not the best meat, but I prefer it.
You like the
Yeah,
what?
I'm definitely a breast guy when it comes to chicken as well.
I'm definitely a
I
breast guy.
can't-
Period.
Not a big fan. Yeah, not a fan of dark meat on any animal.
That's where all the flavors at. A couple years
What's up,
ago,
Bleeker?
a
How you
couple
doing,
years
man?
ago, my kid, not my kid, but somebody else's, were started talking, and they just got done with school, and there was Thanksgiving, and they're like, da, 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 I want a traditional Thanksgiving like the Pilgrims had. I'm like, well, we can do that. I have some leftover deer meat. I can get some rabbits. I can get some ducks. I can, get some fish. Not a big deal. We can make that happen. And he's like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm like, you talk about the very first Thanksgiving, what they would have had to eat, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, turkey was not on that fucking menu.
Fuck ton of pumpkins.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck ton of pumpkins. Pumpkin rubbed deer, pumpkin stuffed fish, pumpkin puree, pumpkin pie, but not pumpkin pie like you're used to. It's just mashed pumpkins in a pie tin and baked. Pumpkins instead of potatoes. Pumpkin glaze for everything.
Well, they didn't.
I don't know if you're aware, but the predominant food eaten in North America for the first 100 years was pumpkin.
Thanks, Bleeker. Yeah, I hear that pumpkin pie downstairs calling my name.
And it wasn't that nice orange pumpkin we got now. It was those little fucking green ones with the yellow spots. Those were the pumpkins you were eating.
It's better than those green ones that looks like it has a growth of tumors on it.
Yeah, those ones too. You're eating those ones.
So, Shadow wants pie. I can go for some
40-pound chickens, really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of chicken. You don't want
Is that like after it's been processed, gutted and beheaded and all that shit?
That's a lot of steroids in the meat. That's a lot of steroids. Tyson years ago got sued for feeding the chicken, was it steroids or something like that, because it was giving male children breast.
Speaking of steroids, did you guys know that there is a Mr. T comic where he's a superhero? That's that's the series, but it's a crack baby fool comes from. But there is a villain there whose superpower is taking steroids, and he does beat him in the first issue.
Sounds like a ripoff of Bane.
There was a TV show where Mr. T was a private detective or some shit like that.
Fuck.
Mr. T and
he owes all.
The blonde chick was named.
Mr. T owes all his fame to one Hulk Hogan and one Vince McMahon. Because if Hulk Hogan didn't find him bouncing at some damn bar, and he didn't do WrestleMania 3, 4, whichever WrestleMania he was on, there would have never been the Rocky movie. There would never been A-Team, cartoons, and fucking everything else.
Well, more importantly, he owns all his fame to a mohawk and a bunch of gold chains around his neck. Because if he didn't have those distinguishing features, he wouldn't have been noticed at the club in the first place.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
always came across just a little too bitter for me to give him a second thought.
Mr. T?
Yeah.
I love
in
the Rocky
shows.
movie.
In shows, when you seen him in like non-acting things, he was always jovial.
Really? Okay. Because
Yeah.
I heard him say a couple of things about it kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I heard the opposite thing about the guy who played the Incredible Hulk. That he was a dick in person and a great person on film.
Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never heard anything like that. I always heard he was a nice guy.
He'd get frustrated. I think the situation is, and I could be wrong, was him being deaf. Deaf. He'd probably get frustrated with the fans when he did all those cons and just become a dick.
Maybe,
I mean, look-
but I remember when he passed, everybody had nothing but nice things to say about him.
Yeah, but that's what happens when somebody passes.
I much prefer the way Orson Scott Card wants people to do from Speaker of the Dead. You come before and air your grievances with the person. You shit talk them as hard as you can. Even if you have to make up bad things about them, you still do.
Jeez.
Speaking of making things up with people, what's your guys' thought about? I know it's just a tweet, but what's your guys' thought of Elon Musk buying Hasbro?
I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think
Yeah.
it will happen, but it'd be funny.
I don't even really think he did it other than to shit post. I really can't picture him ever actually having played D&D, let alone.
Oh, I
first
can.
edition.
Oh, I
No.
can. He's an old school fucking nerd. Yeah, I
No.
can see him.
I doubt it. Also,
I
think
really
that's
don't think he ever played.
manufactured.
That's like the guy who played Superman, right? Mark Henry. What's his name? Henry.
Cavill.
Yeah, he plays War of fucking. He is an old school computer Warhammer nerd.
I thought he only
yeah,
got
but
into
he has
it in
shown it.
the
Elon
early
Musk. You haven't really talked about D&D until now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he just did it because he noticed, what kind of people were saying what kind of thing, and as a shit stir extraordinaire, I think he just jumped on it and said, "Oh, here's some more people I can piss off."
Yeah.
A bunch of more wokies who are just shitting on something that, it would take him 30 minutes to do a little research, and he's like, "Oh, okay, this is funny. I'll trigger a whole bunch of people and get people talking about me for the next week or more."
Connell, why couldn't you be hosting? I still want you to change the fucking name, Shadowhose.
We all wish that we could.
Yeah.
Hey, Friday is only a few short hours away, Justin.
Well, it'll be a lot worse than Shadwell.
I gotta drive down to. I don't have to. I'm going to. I'm doing a little bit of a day trip tomorrow. I went to college down in Champaign, Illinois. Fucking love the town. Still do. It was really my first.
Yeah, you're not too far away from where my old man was born and went to school.
Yeah. Champaign for me in college was the real first taste of freedom I ever fucking had. So Champaign will always
You didn't
have.
own a bike?
Listen, I had a bike. I knew what grass was as a kid, but here's my schedule as a kid. Waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, doing road work to go for running for boxing, right? Go to school, rugby practice, if not boxing practice, go home, do homework, read something if I wasn't doing dance lessons or some other kind of fucking sport at that time to make my aunt and my grandma happy. Go to bed, rinse, lather, repeat, rinse, lather, repeat, rinse, lather, repeat. It's not that I didn't play sports. I was very much, and we've talked about this before. A lot of you guys started in the hobby when you're young, when you're kids, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hit it until after I washed out. Rugby was no longer an option. Boxing I had to drop out because I broke my damn hand. So boxing was no longer, and I was just finding something to fucking do to kill time as my middle brother was going to college. Because I'd sit there and wait for him to get out of class because I saw no point driving all the way up there and driving all the way back. So some guy named Rick Starkweather is like, "Hey, you want to roll some dice?" I'm like, "Sure." I think I got about $20 in my pocket. We can go play some dice. And then I found out it's not the profit dice. It's how you lose money with dice.
I mean, at least it wasn't 40K. Then it would have been dice and expensive.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc. And
If it was 40K, you would have been like, after I play with this sausage for a bit, I'll play.
But
buy
didn't
some
he?
tea.
Sorry, guys. Didn't Elon grow up in Africa?
South Africa, yeah, man. He grew up in his daddy's emerald mine, playing with his. human property.
Yeah, I just I
You ever
it
been?
must, it must have been when he came to when he came to the States. I can't picture a player's handbook and a DMG making its way into Africa.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's because
Actually-
your view of Africa is like the savannah and the Congo.
No,
Like
actually, it's
people going on safaris, and it's like, is that a lion over there?
no, that's how
That
I
is
was.
how you view Africa.
That's how it was
It's
last
not
time
all
I
like
was
that.
there. But during Elon's time, I
Not,
picture
Africa
Wait,
is a
wait, wait,
massive
wait.
continent. It is not one way the entire from north to
Well,
south.
when he was
I'm
there, it
totally-
was.
yeah, exactly what I was saying. Last time I was there, that's the way it was.
Last
But
time
during-
you were there, there weren't even any humans there yet.
There weren't even plants.
That's what
there
I'm getting
yet.
at. But when Elon was going to school in Africa, I just can't picture
So does
you know,
that make Lucy
enough
his
of those
grandma?
books to be, shipped over to Africa to whatever city,
They
maybe
had-
Johannesburg.
yeah,
They had
I'm
variations.
pretty sure
They
being
had.
that big.
I was about to say they had variations of Dungeons and Dragons in Europe. Was it Dragonbane is a variation of it?
Yeah, but that wasn't around in 1978, 79, and the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons didn't
I'm
get
pretty sure he
popular
left
until
in
like
the
BX
90s.
and Beck Me. And
Say
Rules
that again,
Cyclopedia.
Dean. What was that?
Dungeons and Dragons in Europe didn't get popular until BX Beck Me and Rules Cyclopedia.
Which was
Hey,
after Gygax.
Edition.
Yeah, yes, but Elon Musk is younger than you. By like
Right, so
15, 20 years.
well, but when he was going on about Gygax, acting as if he was a fan of Gygax's work. So I have to kind of assume that he.
Well, yeah,
was-
you can be a fan of a guy's work and not be like in the hobby when he was doing it fresh.
Right, but how would you? I mean,
Do,
the only way
do
he
you
would-
understand how records of things work? Like
I
a book,
do.
a
Why
book
would he be?
exists after you finish reading it.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
the
but
whole purpose of it.
He's coming across as if he was a fan of Gygax's work personally.
No, I don't think he was. He was snubbing the fucking current.
Right,
kind of
like I
things.
said earlier, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why I don't
and
buy that he played. And
you
if he
can
did,
also
maybe
be
he did play, Beck Me or one of the later
like
editions.
like I am a fan of Gygax's work, even though I hate it all.
It makes me
Well,
money.
I think you it's more like you have a
Because I respect the
reasonable amount
fact
of
that I have a respect for
appreciation
the
for what
fact
he
that he created
started.
something that, yeah, like he started. Even though I hate all of it, I still have a respect that he created because he laid down the foundations for like better stuff.
Right.
Good night, Flamingo.
Good night.
Yeah.
Take care, Doc. We'll see
You
you.
know what? I'm
Saturday,
also
maybe?
gonna go.
What the
All right,
hell,
sport.
man?
Yeah.
You didn't even turn your camera on. You got that stupid
He
beeping
doesn't have
generator.
a camera in his room.
Oh.
He can't find it.
And
Since
if
the
he
movie.
comes downstairs, he has to bring some pie, and then we will never hear from Shadow again.
True, factual.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to get a pie next time I go to the mall.
Oh,
I
and
don't know
Bye.
I don't know about the
take
rest
care,
of you
Jack. I'll
guys.
see you in a little
Bye.
bit, buddy.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I could eat a peach for hours.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The pumpkin pie we got, I kid you not, is like it's like this freaking big. I'm like, what the
That's
hell? Yeah,
that's
it's like
not-
2 slices in circular form. You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
person-
Did you
Personal
buy
pie.
it or did your wife buy it?
Yeah, Jackie's mom got it from
Boy,
Vaughn's of
you
all
turn to
places.
her and tell her she's not getting any pie. There's only one
It-
serving there.
I mean, just a couple of years ago, they were at least a 12-inch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's because she got not the 12-inch pie. It was
Okay,
probably
I
on
went
the
to
shelf next to that.
I went to Costco's. I paid $6 for. I think that pie is huge. It's got to be 18-inch pie
Okay.
for
like
$6.
The 12 or 14-inch pie is like $7 at the normal grocery store.
Question: when you say inches pie, do you mean like on this side, on this side?
The
Yeah, this.
the
Okay,
diameter.
circumference. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's,
that's
and it's
the
thick
other
too.
one.
It's
They're
I mean,
usually
it-
like 1.5, 2 inches deep.
yeah, This is a thick pie. This is like the deep dish of pies.
Oh.
The one we got was about $8, and it's about a 6, maybe 7-inch pie. And
Nah,
everywhere we went, that's the case.
I don't believe you. That's like the fucking
you have
cheap
a-
foam at Home Depot,
Do
bro.
you guys have?
You
You
gotta
go
stop.
get it.
you-
It's tiny.
Do you guys have
Yeah,
like a?
I have no doubt that, but there was probably a
Sam's
pie
Club?
right next to it that was like fucking 14 inches.
Well, I wasn't there at Vaughn's, but I know Walmart didn't have any whatsoever. We went to 2 different Walmarts.
They were
We
probably
didn't
sold
go
out.
to. We'd gone to Sam's Club like the week before, but it's like I didn't want to get a pie, 2 weeks before
They
Thanksgiving.
can go in the freezer, bro.
Yeah,
You just slide that shit in the freezer. Buy
our
4 of them
freezer,
at
our
once.
freezer is jam packed. Both of them. There's
bodies.
literally no.
You're not supposed to do that, man. That's bad for freezing stuff.
Hey,
There's
what's
supposed
up,
to be
American
circulation
Gaming?
space.
Why are you using that handle instead of your other one, Mike?
Married and happy.
Married
Wait,
with
Married
Gaming.
and
Yeah,
Gaming.
Mike Tybart.
I'm sorry. I saw an oxymoron there for a second.
Nah.
No, that's Mike Dymart. You guys all know him.
Also, Shadow, I have a question.
It's probably already logged in. like
Last
that.
time you were in Africa, were you like fighting like the Libon or whatever those kindred of Africa is called?
No, it was actually Allosauruses, Stegosauruses, things like that.
I don't
Okay,
believe
that's
those
good.
existed yet. I don't believe you. I think you left before they came into existence.
This was years.
It's
ago.
hard to remember. It all gets jumbled up.
This was
It could have been Australia,
this was years ago. I went to.
or Mu, or Lemuria. I don't remember.
I was dating this girl who her mom.
Oh, okay, it's
Oh.
Jen. How's it going, Jen?
I
It
was
is truly
dating
outrageous.
this. I was dating this girl who was really religious, but she wasn't Catholic. She was like something that wasn't Catholic. Anyways, her
I can
mom.
see anything.
Yeah, her mom went to Kenya like every year to help them build shit over there, and she looked at me and was like, "Hey, you want to go to Africa?" I'm like, "Sure, why not? How much? How much per ticket?" And she told me the price. I'm like, "That's a bit much, but I can make it work." So I go to Africa. I go to Kenya, and it gets in the morning. I get woken up.
There
"Hey,
better be
hey,
a punchline. I swear to God.
in the morning, they're like, "We're going to do morning prayers." I'm like, no, I'm going to sleep in. You guys go have fun. Wake me up when you guys start working. Then lunch happens. Hey, we're going to do our midday prayers. I'm like, hey, I see a bar down the street. I'm going to wander down there. I had a Guinness in Africa. But no, that was going to Africa. I never craved a fucking hamburger so bad in my damn life after going there, because their grease, like American food's big, fat, and greasy, right? It's the hallmark of America
Sure.
and Germany and a few other countries, but mainly America, big, fat, and greasy, right? Well, I can get big, though it's not fat nor greasy, and my God, milk should not be the substance of yogurt when you try to drink it.
Yeah, that's the heat, man.
Oh my God!
Hey, real
Here's the
quick,
secret, Connell.
Jen,
That
be
wasn't
careful
yogurt.
on the next road trip because I don't want to see you dying. Losing your last 3 health points.
Yeah.
If you guys, I know Justin knows, but Mike and Jen made a great road trip gaming video. You guys got to go check it out. I'll put it up in the chat in just a minute here.
Shadow,
Apparently, our desert is temporarily closed.
I have to say, Shadow, you are the best hype man for everybody fucking else. Hey, have you heard about my new buddy that has making these videos? You need to go check him out. Hey, have you heard about this new stuff? Check them out.
Are you
Dude,
jealous?
no, I just think it's amazing.
Thanks. I mean, there's
Me,
so many people have done the same for us, Connell. You know that.
Me, if I
or
worked
at
at
least-
Walmart, it'd be like, get your shit and get the fuck out.
Well, that's probably going to be my fate in a couple hundred years.
Oh,
I will be a
no.
Walmart greeter at some point.
And oh my, do you got over in Canada? Do you have Salvation Army? I know they're global. I know like a lot of
Yeah,
different-
we got them.
Do you have the bell ringers?
Like the ones that come out at Christmas time.
No, like they stand outside like a local grocery store and fucking ring fucking bells.
I don't think we do. If we did, they were in the 80s.
We still have them, and
Yeah.
they make me violent for some odd. I have no money giving money to Salvation Army, not so ever. If I see the little red bucket out there and no ringers, I'll drop in like some loose change.
I think
maybe
they
$1 or $2.
do the Santa Claus here, not the bell ringer. They have like the guy The guy dressed up like Santa Claus with the Salvation Army
We
box.
they used to
next
do
it.
that down here, but after Thanksgiving, like a week before Thanksgiving, they start showing up ringing those fucking bells, and I keep wanting to grab one of those bells and just shove it fucking down their throat and shake them. I know it sounds
I
horrible.
support that. I support that. Those fucking bells are annoying. The recess bells, right? The
Yeah,
recess bells.
that's right.
The ones they had to stop putting at school because like a kid could get cracked in the head with one. If that's ever fucking happened.
But at the same time, there's a family of midgets for little people
No, midgets is the correct word.
that will go every Christmas and dress up like elves, and they'll ring their bells. I'm like, I find that less annoying than
Yeah.
anybody else
You
does.
see.
Yeah,
I mean,
midget-
probably because it's political incorrect to kick them like a football.
Yes, it would.
you're
Midget is
supposed to throw
a
them. You're supposed to throw them.
yeah. Midget is a statement of taxonomy, where little person is a statement of denigration. You're defining them as a little of a person. You
This
see,
is right.
see,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Everybody, that's the link for the road trip video. If you guys are watching in the audience, go check that out. We're not going to do anything.
what? No, there's no link that's showing up anywhere. So
What are you talking about? I'm seeing it
I
on my.
see it. It's just haven't put up in the restream one yet.
Was it?
I'm gonna have to put it on my Discord as well, I guess.
I don't see it on either.
When I was living in Missouri, we had this guy named Jeff. He was legit. He was a.
It's
he
right
was a
there.
dwarf. Yeah. He was a dwarf, and he's like, I'm not what you call a midget. I'm a dwarf. I'm like, bullshit. He's like, why is that bullshit? I'm like, I don't see you. You don't have a beard nor a battle axe. You are not a dwarf, my friend.
No. That's a Ralphie May line.
Oh, is it really?
God rest his soul.
I only saw he was in that Punisher movie that I can somewhat put up with.
Are you sure you're not? Are you sure?
Hold on. Google will let me know.
Okay.
Google. You need to go to school when you have Google.
The one with Dolph Lundgren?
No, the one with Jane Thomas.
Oh, the most recent
Okay.
one.
Well, not the.
No, the
Well,
second most recent one.
Yeah.
I like the most recent one, and the first one, or the second one.
Yeah, I didn't like the Netflix version. I hated that one. The guy the guy literally seemed like retarded. You know what I mean?
He's a
Yeah.
Marine. They kind of come that way.
Frank Castle was not that guy.
Yeah,
That guy was
I like that.
much
Depends on what era of Punisher comics you were reading. Warzone, he was very much that way.
No, I've read Punisher from the original issues
Warzone.
in Spider-Man all the way through issue something like 50 to 75 of Warzone, War Journal, and into the hundreds of the original Punisher. He was always like freaking super smart, super aware, not all freaking introspective and literally like special ed. He reminded me of Leon the Professional. You know what I mean?
Leon was a good film.
It
That was
was,
a
but
good
didn't he
movie.
remind you of that guy?
No.
Kind of in the Netflix.
Oh,
version.
nope. I was thinking of John Payne, Pinette. He was also another fat
John-
comedian.
Oh, John Panette.
Pull
Yeah.
this pull this image up.
He's the. You've been here 2 hours.
Oh, that's
4
a
hours ago.
movie I haven't seen.
He was also in Hairspray too, I think.
I got a question.
But yeah, I do agree that that's not my favorite version of the Punisher. He does. I wouldn't say he appears special ed, but it's like
He's
he
fucking
feels like
angry.
he went from high school to the army and then out again. Not
Now-
someone who actually had children and a wife.
Well, that's a turkey I can enjoy, and I guess the food looks okay too.
Jesus.
But
I like. This is also the Netflix Punisher's early days for Punisher, and when you be nothing, if you were in that situation, it's still early days. This is not. He's been rocking around for like 10 to 15 years, hooking up with Captain America and everybody else stuff. We're talking early days.
early days were he was the most badass.
Okay. Shadow's version of the Punisher, he's definitely hooking up with Captain America.
Oh yeah, he is.
But yeah, I already disagree with you, Connor, because I already said what I feel about the Netflix one. That like he feels like someone who went from high school directly into the army or navy or something like that, and then he's out. He doesn't feel like someone who has already had like a wife and kids and lived life a bit.
That's fair. I mean, I like him. I like him as an actor. I like him.
He's fine.
I like this variation. I like this variation of the Punisher. You know, it's like ice cream. Not everybody here.
Yeah, even hold on. Even in the first couple of episodes when he's working construction, everybody there treated him like he was slow.
Well, because he didn't talk to anybody, he was addicted to everybody else. Except for that little guy that he saved his ass.
And in the very first issue of the Punisher is like a successful family man, ex-Marine, all this other shit.
Yeah.
The very first issue, he was on his fucking game. And as soon as shit went down and he lost his family, he was like focused, Batman, like.
Yeah, it was a slightly different take on the character, but it wasn't as bad as most deconstructions of characters are these days. So
okay, Punisher movies for me. Punisher in general. We're adding the movies. We're adding the cartoon. We're adding the TV show. Punisher had a couple appearances on The Amazing Spider-Man back in the early '90s.
Oh, okay.
Him and Blood. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Punisher
Warzone.
To me, the best Punisher movie out there is Punisher Warzone with the late, but will always be great, Ray Stevens, or Stevenson, or whatever his name is. That was the more comic book accurate Punisher movie as of date.
I like that one, but I prefer the Dolph Lundgren one.
I think my most disappointing thing about
that's funny, Justin. I kind of feel the same way. Despite everything, he wasn't as bad as people give him credit for, because of the language.
It was just low budget. It was just low budget.
And the bad guys were great in that one. Very much like the Crow bad guys, would you say? Very reminiscent of the bad guy and his girlfriend who were just fucking psychos.
Now, on the other hand, I didn't like the Crow. I haven't liked any version of the Crow.
There's only one Crow movie that
there's
only one Crow. I'm sorry, and that's the Brandon Lee one. I like the TV series. And before we go any further, Dean, you beautiful bastard, was trying to say something, but we got two jackasses right up here that runs right over you.
Oh, it's fine. Like I have like a 200 ping compared to you guys, so there will be a delay.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just going to say, I think the thing that disappoints me most about the Punisher is he doesn't make enough puns and dad jokes.
No, that wasn't. Never mind. I take my minutes back.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was gonna be something like that.
Okay,
I'll allow it. As a fellow dad, I will allow it.
Am I not a father? Do I not have a 14-year-old daughter plus 2 other kids?
No,
I mean, you. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Anyway, so
deny everything Connell says.
My problem with that Punisher, and it's not even Dolph Lundgren's fault. You're right. It had great villains, but Punisher is not a sewer person. And that was my only issue with him. Punisher is always
The motorcycle in the sewer was a little gay.
Yeah, it was comic book.
Yeah,
I'm going to meditate butt ass naked in the sewer. No, I'm not.
Yeah, having been in sewers before, I don't even want to freaking. Yeah, no, I don't even want to have to take a leak.
It's a comic book sewer.
No, I get it. I get it. It's not as filthy and potentially deadly.
Punisher needs to be
finest
dark.
sewers are in Paris.
Punisher comic books, cartoons, movies, TV series, they always have to be.
We're stopping a minute for an Orion slave girl, just because it's the appropriate thing to do.
Is that Jakota of Mars or is that She-Hulk?
It's an Orion slave girl. I just said what it was.
I think Star Trek is I think I blame Star Trek for my fascination with She-Hulk.
Wasn't that Yvonne DiCarlo, aka Batgirl?
No, this was one of the other ones.
No,
This
but
was-
but that was the first one, right?
Okay.
She was
I
the first
see.
Orion slave girl.
It would go War Games, Netflix show, then Jane Thomas, then Amazing Spider-Man for his couple appearances, then Dolph Lundgren if I was going to do my rating for the Punisher movies.
that was Susan Oliver. That one was Susan Oliver.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
have any of you ever played the video game, the one for PS2?
yeah. played the shit out of
Ultimate
it.
Alliance or something like that.
No.
So,
The Punisher. You're talking about the Punisher game.
yes.
Yeah,
No,
I played the shit out of it. It had cameos from Iron Man, Kingpin.
It's very authentic to the game, but it's a little too violent for me because I don't like seeing people being thrown headfirst into a woodchopper as much as we joke about it.
I think this is.
I'm
just-
okay with it.
I'm okay with it. And I
But
have
you're
a long.
Canadian. War crimes were invented because of you.
See, okay, I'm Irish. I was mainly raised in Ireland, so what's my excuse for violence? Other than
I
that,
don't know because I
The
think
I'm
whiskey.
American. We were breastfed on that shit. So
No.
and I don't know Connell because I actually think it was the Israeli who did terror bombing first, before the Israelis.
Yeah. They did a whole bunch of terror bombings in the.
Hey,
we
just went-
See, family got it. Sorry.
we just want our country back.
See, it's actually what Family Guy got it right. At one point, Ireland was the most advanced civilization on the planet, and then they invented whiskey.
Hey, you want to try this brown liquid stuff I made? Oh, sure. Next day.
Honestly, I just blame it on that they can't find Hypersil again. That's where
Yeah,
they left.
well,
That's where they left all the gold.
If things keep going the way that they're going, we're going to get Conan Part 2 here pretty soon. Only it won't be a movie.
Well, you know why Scotland is part of the British Empire again, right? They got their independence, and then they had to they literally had to sell their country back into being part of the United Kingdom.
Mhm.
Wasn't it because like they tried having colonies and it didn't go well?
Yeah. Someone thought setting up a colony in like Argentina to raise sheep to sell wool to the natives was going to be a monster moneymaker.
It worked for the Germans, y'all.
Yeah, no. Because they thought they had the same like altitude as the Highlands
No.
in Scotland,
No.
but nobody looked at like the equator. It's like
Anywhere
They
it was
from
also had a
hotter.
few Caribbean, what do you call it? Caribbean colonies where they tried to grow sugar and that didn't go well either.
yeah.
But I think
So-
it was mostly because they kept getting
Yes.
hit by weather phenomenons.
I can't-
Yes, but they mortgaged their entire country to it. There's a difference. If you reach into the back of the couch and pull out some pocket change and set up a shitty colony somewhere with it, and it fails, it's change from the fucking back of the couch.
the era
If you
of-
put a mortgage on your home,
So what's that crafting?
I wasn't
I
saying
think that was Connell. Oh, was it you?
Oh, I was gonna say, somewhere in the mid 2000s, I want to say 2008, somewhere between 2008 and 2011, Nike had this brilliant idea.
Are we still
to,
talking about colonialism?
Nike had this brilliant idea that they're going to release a new type of shoe in Ireland, and they're going to debut it on St. Patty's Day. The name of the shoe is called the Black and Tan.
respect this.
Nike almost got banned from Ireland, and I can guarantee a few people lost their job that day.
The Black and Tan. Why? Isn't that like the national song? Wait, what Ireland?
What
We're talking about- Oh.
That's almost as bad as people trying selling perfume in Japan after the war. Context: only prostitute wore perfume.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
going door to door to families, hey, do you want to buy perfume? Didn't go
I
so
didn't know
well.
that.
Shit. Whatever that.
There was a lot of social engineering to fuck over the Japanese people
Oh,
after
definitely.
World War II.
There's a lot of
Like,
fucking
just
around
randomly
to fuck over the
sterilizing men.
Japanese before World War II. I mean, America basically went over there. It's like, you're opening up to us, so we're just gonna bomb the shit out of you.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the Japanese signed on with the Axis is because the U.S. Navy since the 20s were just bombing, like sinking Japanese commercial ships.
Another
Yeah,
thing that
think
didn't
they
help
might
was
hate you if you're sinking their commercial.
I
Ships.
mean, you know how you start a war with America? You fuck with one of our boats. Why wouldn't it
No,
be
no,
with
no,
you?
no, no. They were fucking with the Japanese.
I know.
boats.
That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't it? And I just said, why wouldn't it be with other places?
Well, you know how you get into a war with America, right?
Never
No.
mind.
You want to know?
How's that?
You be an ally of America.
Yeah, today's friends are normally tomorrow's enemy. We have a great
No.
history
With
of
your
that.
country, today's friends are today's enemies.
Yeah, well,
I mean, that still sounds better than like saying that Britain waives the rules.
yeah. I don't know. I love to get back over to Europe. I do. I would love to do another European tour.
Yeah.
At least one more time.
Also,
But,
we
like-
like Shadow. He's probably getting high.
With that meth that he cooks in the basement.
Nah, he stepped away to make sure Rent Boy 1 and Rent Boy 2
No,
were
I
actually
don't think
filming that
Metheny is in
scene.
the basement.
Well, that's what fucking Jackie always said.
No,
That-
he's going downstairs to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going into the garage to open that secret door and cattle prod the two boys back into their live stream show or whatever the fuck they're doing on.
Now, keep in mind, these two boys were over the
OnlyCams
age
or-
of 18. They're at Christopher Hansen.
Yes,
We don't
but
actually know
only
that with
by
Shadow.
6 or 7 hours.
I miss Hunger's show. Anyway,
What? All this shit would
Wow.
have been on his show. It was just
Wow,
12
no
hours
shit,
earlier.
man. No, but we all miss Hungar. That's why I called his ass up, made sure he showed up Wednesday because Jackie's on vacation, and he missed all you guys, even though you couldn't tell.
I'm glad that he's still alive.
Did he just give up on YouTube for a while?
No, he's doing his own thing. He's got 3 channels,
Oh,
Who?
really?
and most of them have more subscribers than yours, fucker.
Who?
I only have 93 people at this.
No, I'm kidding.
I
He's in the
never-
50, 60 range, but he's been doing his own animation and things like that. And, you know,
God, do they involve big, muscular black man with no pants on? Because that's how he plays Conan.
Wait. I don't think you're talking about the same person here. Connor
Are we
was
talking
talking
about Hunger or
Hungar,
Jackie?
and Shadow's talking about Jackie.
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Hungar isn't doing shit these days.
that's what I thought.
No. He makes guest appearances, and that's it.
Occasionally.
That right there, what Shadow just did, because it was obviously about Hungar. That just proves further how old Shadow is, because his brain is calcifying, and he's having a hard time keeping track of shit.
No, that
Well,
was called,
I'm pretty sure it's just the
subject.
AIDS.
that was called. I think Bubba calls it the pivot. My pivot is Jackie.
Whoa.
Anytime I can talk about the Void, I'm going to talk about the Void because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be doing this shit.
So he's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah, he's the one that's playing. He is absolutely to blame, and it's okay because I've got videos of him when he was just a wee lad, the most adorable little fucker you've ever seen, singing and shit. So I can always hold that over his head and embarrass the shit out of him.
You should do that more often.
I know, right?
Let's just hope Jackie doesn't turn out to be like me when it comes to doing stuff, which is, ooh, that looks interesting. 5 seconds later, ooh, that looks interesting. 5 seconds later. Ooh, that looks interesting. 5 seconds later. And never really completing what he's doing.
So when Shadow said he's going down for a cigarette, what I'm thinking is pie is a code word for cocaine.
No, I'm smoking a cigarette right now.
I also think cigarette
Pie
is a code
is
word for cock.
I honestly just
No.
think Connell is seeing like your pusher hoodie and is thinking of that.
You might be onto something there, bub.
Oh, and Connell, given Jackie's videos, pie is actually the code word for LSD.
LSD.
If he
It shows you how much you've seen his videos there, Connell.
I never
You missed the last one. He killed me. Live action killed me in the last video.
I don't. There's just not enough acids in the world. No, that's not true. I just been fucking busy.
Yeah.
Plus, I tried to watch one of his videos, and I don't do acid.
Anymore.
I told you to pick up those test strips, Shadow. Also, I brought up another picture because I'm bored.
Bored.
So when you said he killed,
Trisha Helfert from
Yeah, that's
Lois
black.
and Clark.
Ooh, hubba. She aged okay.
I
What is
never
it with
watched
movies
this one.
back then. The women with football nipples. They just stick out there like they got cones in their bras.
It was the bra shape.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
literally
ridiculous.
the bra was shaped, but that's not that. She had an okay rack.
Oh, that to me looked like he showed the cone tips.
That was just the pose and
Oh, okay.
the way she's sitting.
So
Well,
Shadow, you said your son killed you. Do you mean like as in he was funny, or do you mean like?
No, I was playing a character, and he was
Ah.
playing a character that I normally play in some of his videos, but we had to switch roles because I needed to die. The character I was playing needed to die, and he takes his gauntleted hand and just shoves it through my chest, and I spurt blood and fall down dead.
Yeah, you're usually not supposed to switch actors with the roles. That way, the audience can know who the fuck's happening. Like,
I mean, here is kind of the opposite of like using a stuntman. Instead of Jackie like losing 500 pounds, it's like he's gaining 500 pounds.
Yeah, well, the costume and the mask, make it, to the point where you never know who's in it, but everybody knows who's in it because it was me in the first video. It was a lot of fun. We learned a couple of neat tricks and things, for a literal shoestring budget and only having one take to do it. It worked.
Yeah,
you should have just bought some red dye and cornstarch or whatever it was. And,
It
you would have saved a lot
sounds
of
like
money.
Jackie.
It was like $10.
Sounds like Jackie's like in the market of making a snuff film with his dad.
Hey,
I'm okay with that. I will send him the bullets.
And there's a little Easter egg in that video. I'm actually holding up Chalt 3, the Chalt 3 book from Vengeance Satanis, which I was in the process of reviewing. So that was kind of cool. That he's like, if you look, you can see it says Chalt on it. So that's kind of cool.
Did the guy walk away with your book? That would have been even better. Like, I killed you for a book.
I know that would have been pretty good, but no.
You should have bought a cow heart so you could take it.
Oh, that would have been good too. But I did get to show off my broom handle Mauser in the video, which is
The best gun ever.
you're damn right. Especially the Snow Fuhrer. Oh my god! Fucking, my dad owned 20 of the fuckers. Didn't save one for me. Not one.
I mean, we all know the snub nose is the best weapon ever because like the 9/11 might have won 2 world wars, but it didn't kill that Beatles guy, John Lennon.
This is true.
Nice. I cannot stand that motherfucker.
I will say it is actually kind of sad that he didn't live longer because he had turned his leaf and was like, I was wrong right at the end about all that shit.
I actually ended up having a girl break up with me because of the classic joke. What would it take to get the Beatles back together?
Yeah.
3 more bullets.
I mean that joke is also funny because every decade you can update the joke.
2 more bullets. Although
Um,
I am a huge fan of Paul McCartney's early work with Wings. Some of the greatest music any of the 4 of them ever did was Paul McCartney and Wings.
Also, speaking of John Lennon, have you guys heard the conspiracy theory around him? And not like that one of their friends got replaced. Everyone knows that one.
The Paul
But
McCartney one?
Yeah, but John Lennon, he didn't die. He took a new role and he actually became Steve Jobs. That is why Steve Jobs looks 10 to 15 years older when he died.
Hadn't heard that one.
That sounds like some kind of conspiracy theory.
I mean,
weirdo
it's
shit.
the same thing as in Alex Jones, Bill Hicks, which I believe, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I absolutely think Alex Jones is Bill Wicks.
Bill Hicks?
I mean, there is a lot of circumstantial evidence that like it lines up.
That's pretty funny, Justin.
I didn't say it. Someone else did.
Was it the one I heard? The one
Then Deep Power repeated it.
The one I'm enjoying right now is Elvis is not dead. He is in like Missouri or somewhere like that as a Southern Baptist minister singing.
You know, Elvis is
That would be
dead.
awesome.
Right? No, Elvis is not dead. He just went home.
Elvis's best work was his gospel. Absolutely.
I mean, isn't the theory that they broke him when they took him in the military and essentially hooked him up with drugs?
Never heard that one.
One second.
I know his stint in the military was basically, same as Ben Cosby's, sing and dance.
Okay, you gotta bring this one up. I know it's kind of disgusting, but Connell, Connell, I never knew you were on the Gilmore Girls.
First of all,
Wait, is that from the Gilmore Girls or Zardoz?
Gilmore Girls.
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and I don't wear Speedos. So
Also, that can't be Connell. Connell's Irish, and Irish are black.
This is true. We know that because a Jewish guy said so in the 1700s.
Well, now that Justin has embarrassed me, I think I'll be going.
I said Connell, not TCG, bro.
why is that? Wait, were you on the Gilmore Girls, Crafty Gamer? And didn't tell us.
Yeah. You could have at least slipped Alexis Bledel.
By the way,
My
what's
phone
Gilmore
number.
Girls?
Gilmore
TV
Girls
show.
was a show here in the States in early 2000s.
1999 to 2007.
Okay, so it's not that show where the theme song is "Thank You for Being My Friend."
No, that's
No.
no. I think that's Friends.
No.
Well,
No,
no.
what he's talking about.
That was the Golden Girls.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Gilmore Girls, Golden Girls. Actually, the theme song to fucking Friends, if you slow down the tempo, that song is fucking depressing as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched a single episode of Friends.
If you actually listen to a lot of TV shows opening or exit music, it is usually depressing or fucking dark. Like,
Yeah.
I forgot what anime it is, but there's an anime. If you actually translate, it's all about a girl getting.
No, you're talking anime right now, man. It's the rules don't.
It was the
count
first
for
example I
anime.
could think of.
What about MASH? Suicide
I
is
was just
Painless?
thinking MASH, yeah.
I mean, you don't get any darker than that one, especially if you've ever heard the original from the movie.
Suicide
Holy
is painless. It brings
Wow,
on
dude, that song's freaking brutal.
It made sense for the movie. It just did not make sense for the theme song.
Well, it did when you think of Painless Pole trying to get out of the war through, well, not
It
just the
also
war,
makes
his-
sense for. It also makes sense for the episodes where one of the characters, especially when oh fuck, what's his name? It's been so long since I've seen it. Hawkeye goes nuts.
Yeah,
There's
the
a few
end.
episodes where Hawkeye goes completely fucking bananas.
That
And
was
that
like
song
the
was
second
really
part-
appropriate for those episodes.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I just turned on my other device, and it happens to be on YouTube. Here's what you really need to know about Colonel Flag, which was like one of my favorite characters in MASH.
That guy was fucking nuts.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
it was
You know, he
awesome.
was only supposed to appear once. Like
Mhm.
originally, he was only supposed to appear on the show once, but he was such a huge hit with the fan base. That's part of the reason why he got nuttier and nuttier. It's because
Mhm.
people just loved him being the weird nut job who
He's
somehow
kind of
still
like
has a
the
job.
Alex Jones of the army.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to actually watch as soon as the show's
Imagine
over.
giving your man a ring that tells his story.
Sorry.
What should I imagine?
What was that about a ring?
Oh, it was a commercial that's on YouTube. When I click the video so that I can save the video, it starts playing this commercial for these rings that they're hawking right now
Yeah.
this time of year.
Yeah, there's
That-
if it's the rings I'm thinking it is, it's this weird, super high tech ring where the couple's technically always connected. It's not really tracking, but you can also technically track as long with like know your. It's really fucking weird.
Why would you make a cock ring that does that?
Why did you instantly assume that that's what it was?
Well, it was
You
an
don't
ad
love
marketed
it?
to you.
Yeah.
Well, there are other kinds of couples out there. Just
No, there's
saying.
not. No, there's the fun ones and the boring ones.
Again, you're outing yourself there, pal.
Now. Okay, so you know in
What's
the
a
dish
cock ring?
pits at restaurants, Connell.
Yeah.
You know they have the hose, the spray hose on the spring, and it's always got
Yeah.
that ring,
Yeah.
right? And you can take that thing apart. You're supposed to take it apart for maintenance.
Right.
So I was working at a place, a factory called Tam's Taiwu Foods. It doesn't exist anymore. And I took it apart one night to do the end of the night maintenance,
Yeah.
and I was in the habit of slipping that ring into my pocket while cleaning because I'd lose it otherwise. One night I
Right.
forgot to put it back onto the thing and took it home with me. And I just kept it. It's around here somewhere. But for the longest time, I told my brother it was a cock ring. And he thought it was a fucking cock ring for the longest time.
Dean Paul, since you asked, a cock ring is a tool meant to forcibly make a man last longer by cutting off his
Yeah.
ability to reach climax.
You put it on
sounds
your
like a skill
cock.
issue.
You put it on your cock,
Right.
and the blood that flows into your dick can't get back out after you climax, so you stay hard.
Hmm.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I've never
So
actually
speaking
tried
of
it.
fitness rings, that reminds me of something I saw like recently. It's like a picture of
Nice.
the name of the husband is done working out, and then it's sitting underneath the name of the wife is done working up. Like they had synced up to their Facebook, and they didn't know, and they forgot to take them off.
Oh no.
Oh, so their heart elevation, and then
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, the problem with
Wow.
that joke to my brother is like it's a metal ring that's like that big, but a cock ring is actually a rubber band.
They used to be metal.
They used to make them out of metal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
because he tried talking my mom into buying some for me and sending them to me for my birthday.
Your family is weird, dude. Your family is weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way too much sharing going on.
I will admit I started that war with the one cup, one jar, or the one man, one jar thing that one year. So it's my own fault, but
You need to
it's
get-
been funny. So
Yikes.
It took me the longest time to know that the two girls, one cup wasn't spelled COP.
oh, it's also fake. The thing was yogurt.
Yeah,
they
something like
God, I hope
they
so.
admitted to that. But the one man, one jar was not fake, and I'm pretty sure that guy
It was
died.
very jarring. Yeah.
Do you know what happens in it?
I don't follow up on that. Like I figure he was dead.
No. Did you see the video? Do you know what happens in it?
Yes, I know he inserts it where it shouldn't go, then it shatters.
Yeah. He's got a mason jar and it's sitting on the ground this way up. And then he tries to use it as a Richard Gere type device.
The what?
Richard Gere put a hamster up his butthole.
Why do you know that?
Because it was a big thing for a very long
Yeah,
time.
everybody kind of knows that.
That's
It's kind of.
Rich.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna Google it.
Hey, we found a new
I don't
Raven.
recognize this
You
guy.
beat me to it, man. You beat me to it. And I just messaged her like 6 times since we've been on trying to get her to show up, but she's having to.
And he gets his butthole about here, and the pressure causes the jar to go like this, but it being glass, it does not want to do that while staying in one piece. So all you do is hear him scream, and then there's red stuff on the floor.
I have a question. When
Then the
I
camera
already gave it
falls
so
over.
long, didn't read. Why did you guys let Justin continue?
There's no stopping him. Force of
Okay.
nature.
There's a
It's
reason why he's
going
not.
to happen whether we like it or not. Kind of like, never mind.
Yeah, well, also, if I explain what happens, people won't go look for the video because they'll already know the ending. I'm hoping. I'm really, really hoping.
I mean, there are people who God has to throw to hell, not for anything what they did, but because they're safe, and that's the only thing that makes them happy. Seeing people tortured in eternal fire.
Yeah.
Well, we might if we're allowed mount a rescue operation for Justin, but I have a feeling we're going to be too.
I tried to spare people the darkness of seeing that with their own eyes.
Yeah, but couldn't you just leave well enough alone and not alert them to the fact that such darkness exists?
No, that would be wrong.
Okay.
You cannot have light without the darkness. That's like a
So,
thing from the
Connell,
Bible and
how do
shit.
you light your cigar?
I have this thing called a torch, and
what?
It's called a cigar torch,
Ah.
and it's full of butane. And you click a magic button right here, and it.
Okay, so you don't use a match.
I have matches. I decide that I just want to do this. I can toast my cigar easier with the torch than with the match to bring out more of the flavors of the cigar.
Hey, speaking of matches, do any of you know where to get Strike Anywhere matches?
Not anymore.
Amazon.
You think so?
Yeah.
Last time I looked,
Walmart sells them.
Really?
Those the ones at Walmart are not true Strike Anywhere matches though.
Yeah, if you've got to use the side striker pad, they're not what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Strike Anywhere, you can just flick them with your finger and they light.
I mean, you probably want to be careful about it, but yes, you can.
Yeah.
If I God, I used to have a bunch. After my grandpa Marshall died, he had like several boxes of them. Those things were so fun to fuck with because I'd go up to my brother and just like strike the damn thing off of his forehead and light a cigar with it.
Yep.
Now, what you want to light your cigar with, like a good thing, you don't get that propane or the butane aftertaste, is a candle. Yeah, light a candle. And then use
Couple months ago, my oldest wanted to try absinthe. Chase the Green Fairy. So we went to the local liquor store here, got him a bottle of Van Gogh brand, and I got the sugar cubes, and it came with a sugar cube spoon. So I did, I set it up properly. So I made him one. I'm like, fuck it, I'll make myself one. Well, I had a cigar right there. I had a nice little pyramid of sugar. I poured the absinthe on top of it, lit it on fire. I'm like, I wonder if I can light my cigar off with this. And I did. And he's like, that's awesome. I'm like, don't let me ever catch you do this ever.
You have a few stories of those where your father says that. Are you okay?
Depends on the day of the week. Anyways,
Okay.
so God, it's almost
Private school.
Private school. Hey, I know a game you should play with your son there, Shadow.
What's that?
Cards Against Humanity.
I looked into it and I read some things I didn't like.
You gotta get the original version.
Yeah, because they have it at Walmart, and I was thinking about getting it, and I was like, okay, it's like 30, almost $40. I'll look around, and then as I was looking around,
It's a rough game. It's
The original version.
okay. For example, this guy used to hang out with his name was Six. We call him Six, and he was going through a really bad divorce, and he was having a hell of a time keeping a child support payment. And one of the cards was, "What is the bane of my existence?" And I drew the cards, and I got like, I don't know, Hitler, a bunch of other cards, and I'm like, one of them was child support. So I put down child support. He's like, "Fuck you, man." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just being honest."
I still
yeah,
think
no,
my favorite-
Justin, they're not on Amazon.
Okay.
It's
That's
only
odd.
Strike-On box.
You
I still
might
think
find
my
them.
fav- Oh,
For
go ahead.
No, go for it.
I still think my favorite card in Cards Against Humanity is Michelle Obama's shoulders.
Yeah, yeah.
You see that probably won't be in there anymore because it's racist or something.
It's
It
transphobic, is what it is.
The game got like they were doing the whole release a deck on everything, and they got to the one, and it's like, once again, you can make fun of everyone except for the chosen people, and then the company like took a sea change and started cutting all that shit out. So they got rid of just about everything after
I
about
got
a year and a half.
I got the main set. Then I got a lot of the boosters. Then the bigger, blacker deck.
That did you bought it when it first came out though, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's the bigger blacker cock, then there's the even bigger blacker cock, but you have to open the box up and remove the back sticker because it's under there.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
a fairly rough sense of humor, so I don't mind it too much.
But like, take all the really dark cards out of the game and all the ones like the dwarf tossing ones and the child support ones and all that stuff, and just they're not in the game anymore. It's like
That sucks.
it's all like social justice crap.
So, what kind of games do you guys have coming up in the weekend?
I've got a GURPS game tomorrow night. I've got a game with OGGM, which I think is basically Crimson Dragon Slayer or a mix of that and Shadow Dark. And then on Sunday, I'm running my AD&D game with Justin and Cal Vanoni, Oben Owl, Off Grid Gamer, and a couple of people, Mad Eye Miniatures, Armstrong, and a friend, Grim to See. You might have seen him around back in the day. He doesn't do much YouTube and stuff anymore. And Raven.
Let's see, Monday I'm playing
I have a game.
Cyberpunk. If it's what's the system that you like?
Traveler.
No, Justin, you always
Mork.
Yeah, it's one of their. It's one of their games.
Mm.
Then I got nothing going on for the rest of that week. The next Monday I'll be doing Dragonbane. I actually like Dragonbane.
Free League, right?
Yeah.
Free League,
Then here probably in a couple months, because I got done running my Rise of the Runelord through Pathfinder, and I'm going to be running the Curse of Strahd. But oh my god, I'm going to take the PC friendly aspect of it and throw that in the fucking trash.
So you're just gonna run the original one, gotcha.
Yeah, But I'm gonna add like some movie type scenarios to it, like Dog Soldiers that we watched on the show, where the family of farmers turned out to be werewolves. I'm gonna have some fun with it. There might be some magwais.
Not going.
Yeah, in there.
Mogwai from Gremlins.
Yeah. I was actually kind of putzing around with an idea that this wizard is fucking around, and the greater evil power lets him like adventure different planes of existence, and he pulls out. He goes into this weird dimension that has these eggs that are roughly 3 foot tall that feel like leather, and yeah,
What, aliens?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Careful
if
with
they're
that
not careful, go.
one. I think Justin Harbert basically said the same thing. If you are the GM and they aren't careful as players, that will quickly overrun a game. Trust me. If
I
you
don't
actually
care.
act by the movie standards, they will overrun the game very quickly.
Yeah. Let one of them get attacked, and if they don't realize it and kill that player, they try taking him back. He gets chest bursted like once they're back home, and then that whole world just slowly gets dominated.
Well, it's also the Ravenloft. I mean, the great elder power can say no. We're done with that. Yeah, I'm not outrightly just kill off the player. I get you that, but the greater evil powers of that domain can just say no. We don't want xenomorphs in this world right now. Poof, it's gone.
Could you imagine if a xenomorph got a hold of a vampire?
Don't let
Or a face
them
hugger?
don't let them do that. Just like give it a 50-50 chance that the xenomorphs shrug off the magic of whatever elder god there is.
I'm gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, because it'd be cool if the players accidentally destroy the fucking world because they let a xenomorph in.
I accidentally did it once. It involved a camel, 2 copper pieces, and a gun.
Wow.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just kind of looking at some of the old 80s horror movies, the good horror movies from the 80s, and seeing where, I can have one. I mean, there's always a simple trope, werewolves, vampires, and shit like that, right? Well, let's move the clock up. Maybe a Jason Voorhees, a Xenomorph, werewolves that you didn't think were werewolves, but they're farmers who invite you into their cabin to sleep overnight that try to kill you while you're asleep. Just have some fun with it. I mean, what's the point of it being a DM if you can't take... I hate running modules, but I run modules. But the moment as a DM and I get the green light to do it, I'll take the leash off. And it's like, well, that's a great idea the module is running with, but what if I tweak it like this without breaking the game, but just add a little bit more flair to it, a little bit,
But you get the dilemma I'm telling you to put your players through without telling them. If they don't realize that the party member that stumbled into that needs to be no more.
Yeah.
Like no resurrections, no comebacks. You, not the bad guy, you are killing this character, and you're gonna figure it out on your own that you have to, or he's gonna die anyway because something's bursting out of his chest. And if you don't kill that in like one turn, that fucking world is just gone.
I was doing a Pathfinder variation of
Shadow's like, thank you for the idea, Justin.
I was doing a Pathfinder.
I've done similar. There's actually xenomorphs are actually kind of an Arduin thing, or in Arduin.
Everything's in Arduin.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe the house of house of wax house. I don't know. I was thinking there's just a lot of fun shit out
Have
there.
you ever seen the movie House of Wax or Wax?
Have I seen
Waxworks?
Waxworks?
Yeah, I've seen it. God, that's an old one. What was that
That's a
weird?
good one. That would be a good one to throw your players through.
What was that weird ass movie from the 70s? It just fucking kept going. Where this guy works at a morgue and his silver.
Phantasm.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe throwing a little bit of
What
that
movie?
shit in there.
I'm awesome.
What
Phantasm.
movie? Phantasm? Yeah, Phantasm.
I
I
mean,
just
I
watched
like-
Phantasm. Phantasm is on. He doesn't work at the morgue. Oh, well, the bad guy works at the morgue. That's on Tubi.
Now,
I just saw it last year.
what
so,
was
Shadow,
what,
is it worth watching the sequel, so should you just only watch the first one?
No, the sequels. The sequels are fucking. I think the second or third one is on Tubi, but the rest.
does
are.
it get better? Because I saw the first one, like thinking this is incredibly fucking dumb.
Okay, so the series gets better. Like the series gets like better looking,
Yeah,
and the acting is like the first one is like definitely a 70s film, and then the rest are like 80s. But it's the tone, right? Because the world doesn't stay stagnant. Like as you watch the series, there are
Yeah.
less and less people around. By the end, they're literally wandering through a wasteland because most of like the Midwest has just been turned into those silver orbs.
was he? What the hell was he? Was he ghoul, alien? What the fuck was he?
He was an alien from a world with higher gravity,
Yeah,
and they were like turning people into like slave labor or something on the other side.
that one was just fucking weird.
It was
I
like
mean,
an alternate dimension or an alien
Yeah.
planet or something. It doesn't go into too much detail with that, but
I
the
kind of
world
like
is
it.
expanded.
I kind of like the aspects of it. I liked. It was like the original Alien. Less is more. You don't see the xenomorph in the first movie towards the fucking end, and with the Phantasm, you don't really see what the shit he's doing, and towards the end, it was just. I don't know.
And that stays almost consistent throughout the entire series. It gets like progressively darker and more fucked up too.
Maybe
gotta
throwing a
rewatch the whole
little, maybe throwing a little Lake Placid with Betty White. I hope he eats you, you cocksucker. God, Grandma. I don't know.
Placid. I've never seen that one.
Oh, you should, Justin. That's a really good movie.
It was Betty White's in it. You have,
Basically, sorry.
go for it.
Basically, you have Betty White feeding an alligator till it's the size of a literal monster.
Maybe I have seen it.
What was that? John Goodman. Spiders. Acrophobia.
Arachnophobia.
Yeah, I mean, I know Halloween's over, and I know a
That
lot of
movie
us.
where they like kill a ton of spiders.
Yeah, and these spiders were like, yeah, I'm having fun with the ideas what I can do with this. It's I got a brand new toy. How can I got a brand new toy? How can I play with this toy? Is right where I'm at with this. I'm very much in the honeymoon state of the DMing aspect of it right now. Which I think every DM should be at one point with their games. They should be in a honeymoon state for at least for a while, unless
That
it's
makes sense.
Traveler.
So, Justin, what games do you have coming up?
I'm playing on that one on the weekend with Shadow. If you don't remember.
Oh, I remember. Just to know if you do anything else.
Not currently. I'm doing a lot of writing though. So
How about you, Dean? What are you up
but,
to? You got any games going on?
Well, I normally run a game like Friday and then Saturday. Friday, it's not running this week because one of the players he went home to the Caribbean for this week, and another one he needs to work late. But normally I have like a Pathfinder 1E game there.
What Pathfinder? Are you running a module or a homebrew?
That one is a homebrew.
I love Pathfinder. I original Pathfinder. When I run regular Pathfinder, I allow the handbook and one of the other books. You get to come to the table with 2 books, not 15 books, 2 books. It being Ultimate Magic, Ultimate Combat, or one of the other ones. You don't get this fucking. You don't empty a backpack of 15 other books that you want to run. No, 2 books. and it makes Pathfinder a whole lot more workable.
And the second game, that's what do you call it? Not a Pathfinder game, but this one is Rise of the Rune Lords, which is the first adventure path they released. Except I
just
put my own twist to it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just got done
players
running
who
that
played
one.
it before, so
What do you mean by one book, Connell? Each player can bring one book, or there's
Two
only
books.
two?
Each
No,
player
yeah,
can bring.
but obviously everyone's got the core rule book. But do you mean each player has a different book?
No. In addition to the player's handbook, yeah, they have like a fuck ton of supplements for that game, right?
Right,
Like
but I
you have
mean,
like the
who
magic.
chooses that one book?
What?
Two. You get two.
Who chooses the other book?
They do.
As a consensus, there's only going to be 2 books used in the campaign.
Per
As
player.
a player, your character can only use 2 books: the handbook and the other book you decide.
So each player could choose a separate other book besides the core book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really
You know Bruce's campaign, he already had like 15, 16 books you can go through at that point.
vaguely. It's been like 2 years, but yeah.
Right. I'm dialing that way back to.
So instead of 15, it's like whatever the number of players is the other additional books.
Well, you know how you could like take, say, the magic book and then the fighter book and then pick what things you want and mix and match to make your character.
Sure.
Yeah, he's only letting them do one of those books.
Right, but that's still if there's
so
6
you can't
players,
you can't mix and match. Like no, because you can't trade them back with other players.
right, but that's still 7. If there's 6 players, that's still 7 books the GM's got to have memorized.
Only the rules that character's picked for that.
Right, but you need to know each of those books.
Most of the times when I do that, when I do first edition, it's either Ultimate Combat or Ultimate Magic, and I know both books front to back, so I'm not really worried about
it. It's potentially, if there's 5 players, that's 6 books that are going to be at the table, right?
Potentially,
but if it's the same, if it's a duplicate of the same book 5 times over.
Sure, but
you're also not having like one player with 3 different books, not including the core book.
No, I get that.
One character,
the way
right?
he
Which
said
happens a lot in that game.
It was a little confusing.
Even in 5th edition, when I run a 5th edition book, you get the core book. You get the core book and one other book to go with it to help build your character. You don't let. I'm trying to take the
min-maxing
out of it to a certain degree. I have no problem with multi-classing. If a character wants a multi-classing and they can do it between the 2 books, more power to them. I'm just trying to keep the level of bullshit to a minimum level. I mean, it's a fantasy game, so there's always going to be a certain degree of okay, whatever, bullshit. But if I can get that to a manageable level, it normally makes for a better game. Well, I'm going to take this out of this book and this out of these next 3 books. It's like the joke I used to make with 3.5 is it's cool that you can use 20 books to make one character, but you just shouldn't be able to use 20 books to make one fucking character.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. That's just too much video gaming and too much, like Justin said, not only min-maxing, but how do you justify your barbarian, goes up a level and now he's a first level magic user?
Cheeseball tardiness. Now, I have no problem with the idea of a character, like a character switching. Like, oh, I was raised a barbarian, and I traveled to a distant land and learned about this thing called magic, and I try and learn it, and maybe I got a talent for it, but it shouldn't be it should be a hard thing to do, not just. Yeah. I went up a level and
massive
now I've got
training.
points.
Yeah, it's like there's certain classes that I'm like whatever I'm cool with. It's like you start off a fighter, but you start off. Let's say you start off a fighter, then you want to go take a couple rogue levels because somebody in your party is just naturally rogue, and you kind of
You let them be the rogue.
You could be. We could all using Max from Legion of Mist scenario. Everybody here can be a ranger. Let's say we all decided to do a campaign, and everybody here wants to be a ranger, but not everyone here has to be the same stereotypical ranger. Like I could use swords. You could use crossbows.
Because you can never have enough fighters. But when it comes to thieves, I'm not hanging out with 12 thieves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you could play a game where everyone is a member of the Thieves Guild.
Sure, I've done that.
Like I like the idea, like, of there being a reason why everybody is together, and that being like, oh, you were sent out on a mission by the town baron or whatever, so you would all be from the town guard. Maybe one or two camp followers would be hired as specialists, but the majority of you are like low level fighter types. Maybe one of them has medic.
I actually had a fun game like that. It was called Orchestra. Everyone was a half orc barbarian bard.
Yeah, and you make
That's
money
awesome.
going into town, being like the minstrel show or whatever.
It's like
Yeah, it's just rogues are a little different than just about everything else when it comes to that. From the DM's perspective, okay, you're making an adventure, right? Well, okay, every very traditionally, every time the group comes across a door, someone's going to do the thief stuff. What do you rotate?
No. Not all rogues are the locked door stuff. Some rogues are your sneaky type. Some rogues are your lock.
No, they're all of those things. In the original era, they were all of those.
In the original, I'll give you that. But in Pathfinder, in 3.5 Pathfinder, 5e, and some, they've your toolbox for being a rogue has more than just your one trick pony. You can be different types of rogues. It's like fighters, they just kind of spread out.
Examples is the ones I'm familiar with. They can all sneak, they can all hide, they can all do the trick.
But if you do a variant, if you like
pickpocketing.
Basically, what he's talking about is in third edition, all the way back when they first released third edition, they make sneak, lockpick, and so forth into skills. Sometimes you don't have it to have it on your class, but they made it into skills, so all could technically do it, as long as they were trained in it.
Right.
So what they did with the thief was rename it rogue, and it was like like a dexterous either thief or duelist and so forth. Like it's supposed to be more like
a skill-based system.
Yeah, so basically it's not a thief, technically a rogue. It's more like an archetype of all the dexterous heroes. That's not a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zorro.
They did something like that in second edition, where every time you went up a level, you got X number of points to put into your percentages. So instead of all your skills going up just a little bit, you could put like 10 or 20 points in the thing you wanted to specialize. Maybe it's pickpockets or climb walls or read languages, so that every thief would be different, but they still had the bare minimums in all the different things like pick locks.
Right.
Pickpockets, climb, read languages.
I just think the confusion comes from like you're thinking a thief, and he's saying rogue, which more mean like dexterous hero.
Dexterous how? What they're quick, light on their feet?
Light on their feet, light with their fingers.
How is that different than somebody who's just got a high dex stat?
When you I'm not saying everybody, but the most common way I see people build fighters. Let's go with fighters. Fighters are fighters or fighters.
Sure.
But most of the fighters I see, high strength, high con, medium dex, maybe low intelligence, maybe moderate intelligence, low wisdom, and charisma is just a dump stat.
I suppose.
All right. So let's say that's just your stereotypical. With a rogue, when you're building a rogue, you want to do high dex, high charisma most of the time, high intelligence depending on what kind of rogue you want to be. Wisdom can sometimes be your dump stat, and strength is one of your lower stats. Because my character Chance uses a bow.
Vaguely. It's been a while, but yeah.
It just that character has rogue levels, it has fire levels, has a couple wizard levels because I became an arcane archer.
Right, but
I
I'm still not seeing how the rogue is getting anything different than someone with a high dexterity would just naturally have.
I'm not
You
getting
know what I mean?
great. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I will also disclaim something. I'm not saying it's good design. I'm just saying that's what they went with back then because apparently it was problematic if a rogue was just a thief because then people thought you're supposed to steal from everyone.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
second edition was the beginning of the political correctness in Dungeons and Dragons. That the second edition existed to call or not call, but to end the satanic panic and
Yeah.
to make it more family friendly, taking out the titties, taking out assassins, renaming demons and devils to something that just changed the name so that the Christians wouldn't get all upset, things like that. Taking out the assassin, that sort of thing. But I'm not seeing.
Well, multi-classing, I mean, with later editions with Pathfinder, you're just kind of one of my favorite builds, to be honest, was a rogue wizard. 2 levels of rogue. 2 levels of rogue will get me evasion. Evasion is a deck save. If you make a deck save, you're just good. You can basically survive anything as long as it's a deck save, which annoys a lot of people. Jade for being an example of that one. And being a wizard. Now, I'd be a wizard the rest of the way. You know, from level 2, let's say I'm doing a 20th level game, right? 2 levels in rogue, 18 levels in wizard. Now, I'm in a room surrounded by all kinds of bad guys. My friends are not next to me. And because of the mechanics of the game, I can cast Fireball on myself. And as long as I make my deck save, I jump out of a window that's not really there or out the door, and that Fireball lands and kill, where it was supposed to be.
I also say as a GM, I wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly broken.
But basically,
and
evasion.
gaming.
Normally, when you succeed on like a reflex save against a spell or something, you take half damage. Evasion just means you don't take any damage if you succeed.
Oh yeah, no,
Right,
but
But yes, what Justin Connell did with just casting it on his own square. No, I wouldn't allow that.
well, neither.
Yeah, here's the other thing I'm having a problem with. Like if see in the old days, if something happened, like say it was a fireball, then no matter who you are, you get a roll. It's not going to be great, but certain people
Everybody gets a deck save. Everybody still gets a deck save on a fireball. It's just if I need a 15 and I rolled a 17, I don't get any damage. I need a 15 and I roll 15, I don't take any damage. That's like the only benefit of being.
that would see what I don't get about that is if you've already moved in the turn and then the fireball hits you, you don't get to move. You're done moving.
That's why it's a reflex. It's not a movement. It's a I think.
Where do you? How are you not in the same place where the fireball went if you don't move out of the way?
I get your argument. I agree. As a DM, I wouldn't allow this. I was playing 3.5, and this guy was like, just build whatever you want. So I build this character. And he was thinking I'd be roguey, ... And he stuck me in a room with a bunch of fucking, I don't know what they were, kobolds, which I don't care who you are. Kobolds in a large group can be fucking deadly at most levels.
Large groups of anything should be deadly.
Yeah. But they have low hit points, and I'm like, well, the mechanic, as rules as written, says I can do this. And this guy was very much rules as written. And he never, I guess, up until me, he's never had anybody who took that box of thinking, threw out the fucking window, and see how I can make things go any other direction.
Yeah, I would eject players like that from a game, trying to game the system in the most ludicrous.
I was playing the game as rules I was playing the game's rules as written. He was not thrilled, but there was nothing he could fucking do about it at
They
that
could say,
time.
"Nice knowing you get out of my house."
He
Yeah, I
laughed.
agree with you there,
Mm.
Shadow.
Yeah, anybody who comes to the table with that kind of, I'm going to take advantage of every, you know,
Well,
broken.
if I was told to do that, that's a different story, right?
Sure,
Like,
sure.
It's not,
but then
he said-
again, you know me, I prefer playing character over
Mhm.
over
Yeah,
position.
that's why I'm always confused about when you say build. Okay, look at it this from this point of view. Okay, it takes you X number of years to become a first level whatever, right? But then in mid game, suddenly because so and so is got one level of wizard in the party, he can teach you to be a first level wizard in the course of a couple of game sessions, which probably only last a couple of weeks. Suddenly, you found a way to be a better wizard than all the other wizard schools around could
Well,
teach you.
yeah, that's absolute bullshit. I would say, okay, yeah, you're hanging out with a wizard.
It's going to take you years.
You've been like camping, and he's been like teaching you like how to focus and do like start little fires with your finger, doing like this crap or whatever, right? Or saying a few words. Maybe you could do a fireball after 6 months or a year hanging out with the guy, but nothing fancy. No fucking multi-square blasts or anything like that. No one comes.
with the
Yeah.
rogue
The
wizard,
odd little
To
thing
be
here
fair,
or there.
one of the issues with that is also
Parlor
like
tricks.
yeah.
Sorry.
To be fair, one of the issues with that is also like in third edition they like took out what do you call it? Any downtime rules. As I'm not saying you're supposed to build castles, but just generally like, oh, you need this time to recuperate and so forth, because like the
downtime.
Dragonlance saga style of gameplay has dominated since like second edition, I think it was, or at least halfway
Mhm.
through. So that's also kind of how third edition was built around.
Yeah,
So-
it just to me, I have no problem if someone wants to change their profession, but it's going to take a lot of time to be first level.
Agreed.
Just like this, in the old rules. Let's put it this way: like each profession had like a kind of like it took like about 10 years to be a first level wizard. It took about a year and a half, 2 years to be a thief. It took about 4 years to be a fighter. So if you're already a fighter but you want to become a thief, you're going to need to spend about a year, maybe a little bit less, to become a first level thief. If you want to become a wizard, you're leaving the party because you're going to school for a decade. And you'll come back a decade later, and sure, you're a first level wizard who happens to have some levels in another profession. But the training time, why it should be different because you're a player in the middle of a game and it should be reduced to almost non existent compared to what it took your friend, the wizard, who starts
That's
out,
why there are with Pathfinder was in 3.5 and Pathfinder very feat happy, but you depends on how you character is constructed from the get go. You only get feat to so many fucking levels. You know,
Mhm.
every third or fourth level.
I know what feats are, and you know they I get it, but training time to be something as a full fledged class to me just seems like it. They just like said, you know what, fuck it. People are playing video games and they're used to being able
Well,
to do whatever they
these
want.
things
Whenever.
started before video games were a big deal.
Yeah, like
so
I mentioned,
saying
the Dragonlance Sega style of gameplay.
What do you mean by that? Like
That you're like doing like an overall quest that like take a certain amount of time, but not necessarily years and years.
mhm.
Like how it was written like in AD&D with you need this time to recuperate and so forth. There, like I don't remember how long into second edition, but like basically the playstyle was there. Like you either hand wave it or like the time you took between was like decided by the GM.
Okay, so it would just be, like you said, hand
6 months
wave,
later.
Yeah,
fast travel, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Sure, but it's like in the real world. you can't suddenly become a pilot because you went up a level. You got to go and do some shit. You're going to have to go to school. You're going to have to put in hundreds, if not thousands,
Yeah,
of
I don't think
hours.
we disagree about that.
It just I couldn't. That's why I couldn't get into anything past second, and even second, I
Well,
didn't really.
right, but I never
I
got.
don't like it. I don't
Crafting?
like it when it's I don't really like it when it's overused, but I do love the idea of players or characters being able to teach themselves something. Like, for example, I absolutely despise the only way to get magical spells is to find pre-made ones, learn them off of scrolls, or seek out an old wizard. Wait, there is not a single person on this entire God's forsaken planet that can make his own spell. Period.
Then you want to be a sorcerer.
Well, don't even get me started on sorcerers. That's just a.
Like I said, Shadow, I got into the hobby much later, and by the time I got into the hobby, the
It was
rules of
rude.
the games have changed. The rules of the games have changed, and I'm used to campaign games. You say weeks, and I've never been in a campaign that hasn't lasted at least a year. Most of the campaigns I've been in are 5-6 years going before they finally pop.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the campaign style. I don't know what you mean by I said weeks.
Well, you've said it before. Not tonight, but like when we were all doing other panels on other shows.
Right.
You and a few other people bitch that people don't have. Nowadays campaigns only last maybe a couple weeks.
That is, what a lot of the studies and surveys have showed, that a lot of people who are in the hobby, mind you, it's the majority, which is the lowest common denominator group of players. They're in it for a couple of games and then they're out.
Yeah.
Right. That's not me and my group of gamers, in person and on the interweb, are. Well, I will let you in my campaign if you can promise me the next 2 years.
Right. That's those are what I would call actual real gamers,
Right.
as opposed to like tourists or dabblers or however you want to word it. But
No, I get the
people
concept
are into.
I get the concept that life happens. You get married, you have kids. Randy got ran over by a reindeer. What the fuck ever? Life happens.
What happened?
Randy
You got hit
ran
by a
over
reindeer.
Oh, sorry, the song. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We're going into Christmas, so I figured I
Yeah,
should go.
crafting, concerning like crafting spells and so forth, Axe does that. They intentionally build up the system so you can use the
Yeah, even
guidelines.
AD&D allowed for that in a very sort of structured way, as in you had to do certain things, but if you did those things, you had a library, you had some ingredients, you had a place to sit down and study, as opposed to trying to come up with a spell while you're hiking to Mordor. Yeah, that's not going to really be all that conducive unless you've already got some skill. Like if you're a wizard and you're trying to modify your fly spell, maybe, but if you're not, then no.
Right, no.
You've got
Was it
a place to
Pathfinder?
kick it and do some research, then you're going to have a much better chance of researching a new spell.
Pathfinder First Edition has a spellcasting class called, it's like Ward Magic. It's a variation of Wizard, where you can make up your own spells after a certain level. It's like level 10 on, but it's not like you get access to everything on the fucking list. You can morph a spell into certain directions. And I thought that was really cool. There was that book series that came out when I was a late teenager called Aragon, about the dragons. They made a horrible movie about it.
Yeah, wasn't that written by like a 14, 16-year-old kid?
Yeah, the books are great.
Yes,
The movie,
and, it's an all right book for like a first, second, or third book, or however it was. But one of the things some people don't like about it is he was really heavily pushed by his parents, who already had contacts for publishers. So some people mean he was
Hold
too
on.
early, and it's not like that at Prodigy. He had contacts to get the book out.
Right. Kinda like
Actually, the first book was an early self-published book, but then it got pulled from self-publishing when like an actual publishing house saw it and offered him more money than he was
Connell,
making
if
at the
you have
time.
to sniff it multiple times, it's probably not good.
It's eggnog. It should still be good.
It should still be good. It should just have come on the market. So how could it be bad? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I just
Oh,
saw some
geez,
eggnog for the
we-
first time.
Had them backwash.
We
So,
we were eating eggnog here all the way back in September. The month
Really?
before
No.
October.
No, that eggnog is maybe about a week old. It's still good. Eggnog lasts for a while. The way that they make it anymore, it's basically drywall glue.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But
get
damn,
some.
does it taste good?
Yeah, I haven't had any in about a decade or more. I'm gonna get some so the boy can try it. You
If
know,
it
I
was
can't
like
drink it.
homemade eggnog, like the ones your grandparents used to make, I would give that maybe 3 or 4 days and I'd pitch it. But anymore with the way it's it's good. It's Amish eggnog. It can last maybe about 2.5 weeks before it's got to be pitched. But
So what you're saying is not fun to drink.
it is with alcohol.
Oh, eggnog is great, like just as it is.
I've never had it with any alcohol. It's one of those things that a small cup, sip it. Throughout.
It's got to be a brown alcohol. It's
That's
gotta
what
be
I
something
figured.
else.
Brandy,
Brandy.
normally, brandy.
I couldn't see drinking like this much, but I could like a coffee cup. While you're hanging out with friends. Doing
Fuck
the thing.
that! You get the whole liter cart. And just go.
Some of you guys are
Oh, I
going
gotta go to the bathroom now.
some of you guys are going to give me shit about this, but I I'm not a big coffee fan. But if I drink coffee, I want it to be more or less a dessert. Starbucks does really good dessert coffees, and this time of year, they used to have an eggnog latte that was basically coffee with eggnog in it. Fucking amazing!
Yeah, I love a chocolate milk with eggnog in it.
I can see that.
I don't know what eggnog is, and I probably never have it.
How eggnog?
It's like a
What?
malty milk, very cinnamony brown sugar flavored, thicker version of milk.
I think it's like molasses.
What
based
part
or
of Europe
something
are you
like
in, Haas?
Europe.
See, I grew up partly in Ireland. I had eggnog over there.
that? How is eggnog made?
I mean, I'm not from the Anglosphere, even if I do speak
Are
fluent English.
Okay.
Are
I'm
you
just-
from the Germanic / Dutch or general Scandinavian sphere? Because that's the sphere it comes from, the Germanic Scandinavian sphere.
Guten Tag.
I have to get Victor. I'll have to get pick on Victor and see if he's ever had eggnog, because he's up there in Viking land.
No, I think Victor, he's Dutch.
Yeah,
Close enough.
Viking.
Yeah, I hope his freaking Kickstarter starts shipping soon.
Yeah, he's been having some fucking stress. Fucking my heart goes out to anybody that actually pumps out stuff and trying to make it go out of it, especially how the world is right now. Fuck. I mean, Bear is trying to get off his heroic system, the hero system. So
Yeah, well, he spent too much money on art, and
Yeah.
that's no
I'm
longer
I'm
a viable option, in my opinion.
I'm of the same camp that Omen now is. When I pick up if I pick up a new gaming book, I'm not looking at the tables. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm looking at the artwork, trying to figure out what kind of feel that this game has.
Yeah, but like in the modern day and age, he could have been a little less like, sorry folks, but I don't give a shit about your hatred of AI because you read a buzzword on YouTube or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Unless you want to pay $300 a book.
Yeah, it really boils down to this, Justin. I was thinking about it. If you're paying more for the art than the people who are writing the book, you're doing something wrong. It's that
It's
simple.
also coming
Why,
from
how is it that you have to shell out more for the individual pieces of art than a writer would make?
He could have bought, like, he's not an non-competent guy. He could have bought a draw slate, right, himself, and like say, okay, the art's going to be like in this style. He could have taken a couple of courses over the time he spent waiting for, because he's not writing it himself. He's got a team writing it for him. He's just orchestrating them. And he does call center work all day. He could have said, okay, these 3 days of the week, I'm not going on live streams. I'm learning how to draw shit and taking a quick course. And even just like, okay, I'm using Stable Diffusion to create a character and a profile and all that, and then tracing it and modifying it to be consistent with the characters for like half the art. Done it himself.
At the end of the day, this is his system, his thing. He can do whatever he wants.
Right, but he's paying more for the art than he's paying for the people who are doing the actual work.
He's paying more for the art than he's getting for the book, from what I understand.
Oof, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's rough. I got nothing. I mean, it's his ball game. He gets to play which direction he wants.
And like, if he done it himself, took in a fucking couple of courses, spent a year or two, like he had been spending on time devoting a little bit to doing that, instead of bouncing from project to project, like paying yourself nothing because it's time you're spending on calls with your call center work. You know what I mean?
Do Bear go on a lot of live streams, and that's why you said that, or?
He goes on more than I do.
He
And I'm
gets
on a live stream 5 out of 7 days of the week.
I've dialed back, but I'm not trying to make it my own fucking book. Although, if I can get, Jim Butcher's okay, I'd love to try to make a Dresden Files RPG that's not ran by Fate and is actually fucking playable.
Lobby him. See if you call him.
Yeah.
Make the system generic.
Yeah,
without
you
the
gotta
world
do the work
lore.
before you even start, doing
Yeah.
it. You can't just say, hey, I'm sure he's had 20,000 people. Go ahead.
From what I understand, he's actually happy with the RPG they made.
Oh, he's wrong.
Yes, he is. No, you create it. Like the whole game, the system functional.
Yeah.
Right. That's set in the generic city, Chicago or whatever, right? And then just like file the serial numbers off the Dresden universe.
Yeah.
And then just release it yourself.
See, I ran
very compatible to the Dresden storyline.
Right.
Said in Discord quietly by a sock account.
You can call it Danzig Files. It's about what do you call it? A magician who sings and plays rock and roll, who's also a detective.
See, no, that's John Constantine.
Just make him wear a fucking shirt, right?
Yeah. And something on his arm.
I ran a Dresden Files style campaign through Pathfinder. I had to do a lot of fucking modifications to it to make it work. And the last big guy that they went across was I made Peter Pan a pedophile that came and steal your children.
Yeah, I think that's what he was in the original story.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, we're still on. We just saw Jen a couple hours ago, and I put the link in for your road trip video again to get as many people to watch that video as possible.
I put a bunch of links. The last one I popped in was for how to make eggnog.
I did a variation. Let's see. I did a variation of Stormfront. I did a variation of Fool's Moon. Then I'm like, okay, I want to do a little bit something that's not in the book. I'm going to say a bunch of children are just randomly disappearing.
Again?
Yeah, I think that wasn't one of the books.
Yeah, but it was because of
Finals. Sorry.
Go.
What was it? The children disappearing. Oh, that was because of the Fulmore.
The Fulmore. I hated the Fulmore storyline, man.
It was. What would you if? if the major vampire court is basically knocking down most of the other shit for forever and a day, and that they finally get knocked out, of course, the power vacuum's there, and other things are going to try to fill its spot.
I get that. I just hated the Fomor.
Well, I hate the fact that fucking Santa Claus fucking showed up in fucking Narnia, but I'm told I'm wrong.
Yeah, my thing with the Dresden Files is I like these books and so forth, but the fact that is all the books are like his works week that year makes it kind of depressing keep reading because you don't feel like you get a break, and he doesn't get a break.
They're all a
What?
couple years. I mean, from the first book to this book, I think it's been like, what, 10, 15 years
In story.
in story.
Also, Murphy was done dirty.
I kind of
Yeah.
get that. I don't agree with it, but I get where he's going with that. Because I figured if he didn't become the White Knight, I figured he was going to hook up with Molly, unfortunately, because that's what made the most sense.
The Winter Knight.
Yeah, but because he became the Winter Knight and she became the Winter Lady, I'm like, oh, that's not going to happen now.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's not because of anything in the story. It's just he doesn't want those two to get together. It seems like.
Who,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I was
And
reading.
I don't mean like anything said. It's just he had so many opportunities, and the fans would be happy, but he doesn't.
Well,
She's also a fucking kid. I mean, she just now
Dresden
like,
and Molly. Like,
yeah. He watched
that's
her
the
grow
purpose.
up, so I kind
Oh,
of.
sorry, Molly. Is that the cop or?
Molly
No, that's
is
Murphy.
Murphy was the
Sorry, I
cop.
was thinking Murphy, not Molly. Sorry.
yeah. Molly, I was about to
she's
say,
dead.
Molly is the carpenter's daughter, and
Oh,
I really
spoiler alert! Murphy died in the last book.
Oh yeah.
Not well, yeah.
You guys keep saying Murphy, and I keep thinking of the character from RoboCop.
Yeah.
Same
I couldn't
concept.
stand the Dresden novels.
Yeah.
What's your issue with them?
Never read it.
Pardon?
What's your issue with them?
I just thought they were overhyped, hacky, just
Over a
You're
high.
wrong.
He does write by the book, so and he literally teaches people how to write by the book. So
Yeah, I read I don't know, first 4 or 5 of them, and it
Really? You
was
got that far in?
it was too much for too little at the end of each book. You know what I mean? It was 500-700 pages, whatever it was, per book for something that I think could have been wrapped up quicker.
Are you sure about that?
I don't have an actual physical copy of a Dresden File book.
I think they're about 500, maybe not
Harry
quite 7, but
Well,
yeah, just
Dresden.
I didn't like the character either. He just wasn't all that likable to me. Just
he does appear like he it's younger than he is in the first 2 books at least. I don't remember past that because I accidentally had the audiobook for the third book on shuffle, so I kind of have that messed up in my head what actually goes on in that book.
it was a little too Harry Potter for me. Let's put it that way.
the book
what
series
is
doesn't
just
really get
dirty Harry Potter, so
the book. Dresden Files to me doesn't really start kicking off until Summer Night. Then it just ramps and it's it gets a whole lot better.
okay, can you skip all the books before that then?
Well, you can't. It's like Dune. To me, it's kind of like Dune, and I'm not a big fan of Dune. You need to read the first couple books just to understand where the world is going. And Dune drove me up the fucking wall. The moment that Leo or where this fucking decides to become a great big worm, I'm like, I'm done. I quit. This is where I'm getting off this particular boat.
So what you're saying is it hadn't aged well.
Yeah, it's definitely a product not only of its time, but of his the writer's cultural fascination. You have you have to buy into that whole sort of Middle Eastern flavor of so much of what he was.
No, we're talking about the Dune guy, not
When it comes to Harry Dresden, the average page count is 350 words per book, so they're not much longer than the books we've been reading on
The book club.
Book club,
Yeah,
which are usually about 250 to 300 pages.
I had the first Dresden book thrown in my lap. God, they go back because he's like on his 17th book right now, and I wasn't in a great place in my life, and I read it, and I thought this was just it fit everything I
17 on the dot.
fit 17.5 because there's the law Nerwal that just came out a little while ago.
Okay. That's not
Um,
listed on Wikipedia here.
It's one of the side. It's like side cases and briefcase. It's just a quick Nerwal short story.
Okay.
I just enjoyed them.
It's been 4 years.
I also, I know Chicago, and where he describes the city of Chicago, it's right on.
It's pronounced Chicagoland, motherfucker.
It's called "Fuck You." I
You never listened to the audiobooks?
no.
He always calls it Chicagoland in
The guy who played was it Spike off the Buffy
Spike.
TV show.
I will say that the fact that he voices the audiobooks, except for one, that does sell the book audiobooks.
Yeah, I just wish they had re-recorded them because the first like 3 books were done by a really shitty recording studio, and there's like no editing whatsoever. So
Also,
like he'll like fuck up a word, like he'll correct himself halfway through it, and it'll just be left in there.
I kind of like it because in the back of my head,
clicking in the background.
and how I picture each one of these books is the situation just fucking happened. He is somehow, because magic and technology are just not friends.
Which I think is retarded.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit because you notice all the other fucking wizards in that world have no problem using technology whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was just too much of a gimmicky kind of thing.
It's
like
Harry. Harry has so many like psychological fuck ups with shit like trauma in his childhood, from his father dying, and then being raised by his uncle who turned out to like actually have killed his parents, and trying to force Harry to be like a dark wizard and shit and do some evil shit and crap like that. Which is like the first backstory, like the first thing.
When does that even come like common knowledge? That would have been a great place to lead to start with.
That's peppered out through the first like 5 books.
I think I got
you skimmed that because you missed out on like major story beats.
I do remember, what do you call it, that I don't remember the first or second book, but basically someone says there's some mark on Dresden, and that's the first book. They say there's a mark on him, and that's because his uncle summoned some kind of creature that always kills someone, except something happened that made it not happen.
Yeah, well,
the long and short of it is,
there has been some background even in the first book that
Harry realized his uncle was like up to no good. The one that was raising him with that other girl that he was there, like he was supposed to kill her, and he thought he killed her, and his uncle. That's why he was tried under the Great Council. But it turned out the girl was not dead; she was actually hiding, but was actually secretly being trained by his grandfather to be like an agent of the Merlin or whatever.
Whoa.
And
no,
yeah,
no, because after
not
she escaped,
the Merlin.
No,
the
because after
grandfather.
she escapes, after she escapes the ass hat, she makes.
No, she was hiding with the Summer Court. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, Shadow, if you didn't like the book. I love the series. The greatest sin they ever did to that series was A, attach it to Fae, and B, the TV series.
The TV series, the Fae. I have no problem with the Fae.
Fate, no, the Fate system. Attaching
attaching it to the Fate system.
I was a big fan of the Fae lore. Something that never, grabbed me whatsoever.
It kind of works.
I prefer his 2 other series, Codex Alarius and that steampunk one, because that he written them after he was a better writer.
You know the joke behind the
Yes, I know.
codex, right?
It was based upon a bet about if you could mix Pokemon with the Lost Human region.
Yeah, it's like some asshole on Twitter,
Hey.
Reddit, or whatever.
Can't be mad at him if he's making fucking money off of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, my issue with the Dresden File is because you always follow his worst streak that year, you don't see any upsides to him, so it always feels like he's getting beat down, and you're just reading like the most depressing story in the world, even if he does succeed in the end. And I don't want that.
That right there is just a staple to like a lot of the old gumshoe detective books I read as a kid. I mean, they're just fucked year round. It's just some weeks are
that
worse
is
than
true.
others.
If you're going for the Philip Marlowe, the Sam Spade kind of thing, the life of a PI is shit with a fresh helping every day.
Yes, but there's usually like a reset in those worlds. Like it's just the case is crap, and then like once it's over, they're back to their like normal depressing life. Where in the case of the Dresden Files, it's like my life was depressing, and now I was kind of building a life up with this girl, but then she got bit by a vampire, and it turns out we had a daughter, and now I have to sacrifice her to exterminate the Red Court.
You know what?
A breed.
Basically, he
Yeah.
doesn't give his characters any breaks.
Yeah. Oh, and it piles on, right? There's no like reset to the norm in that world. That's why he had a chance to have a bit of light in Dresden's world by not killing Murphy off, allowing them to get together, spend some time together, have that like a focus of joy in the world again. That's why I don't like the Foam Wars, because it's the point of unending depression, right? Before there were like points of light and joy, and once the Foam War came along, it's just depression all the way down. It's like he stopped doing drugs or something.
I like the series. I like the way it's going. The fact that his daughter shares the same name as my daughter, I find amusing as hell.
Yeah, that's only because you're weird, and you like fucking told your daughter you disowned her if she didn't go down to City Hall and change her name.
No. Well, we call her Maggie, but her real name is something else, which I was
Magdalene.
No, her
PI?
her legal
Magnum
name.
PI. I don't get gold stars on this show, but you still get one. Next time you show by, remind me you'll get gold
But
star.
Justin, I'm not sure. Remember, they want a gold star.
Wrong gold star. These ones only have 5 points.
Okay.
And guys, I gotta call it. My device is about to die, and I gotta take care of some other stuff.
Enjoy your pie.
Yeah, that pie is definitely calling my name. You guys, thanks for hanging out and playing along. Everybody in the chat, same thing.
I'll see you in 11 and a half hours.
Exactly.
Don't beat Jack too bad tonight. I mean, he needs a break. It is the holidays.
Yeah, and I'll also let Twink 1 and Twink 2 take a nap.
Right. He's gonna get some pie. Mm-hmm.
What's a twink? Is that like those pastries with like cream in them, or what's that?
Yeah, they got cream in them, all right.
Yeah, agreed, Mike. No, you don't ask. Don't look it up.
Did you ever see what was that movie
Take care,
called?
Mike. I'll see you Saturday, buddy.
What was that movie called? Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
What about it?
Dean, have you ever seen Pulp Fiction?
I have vague memories of it, so maybe.
You remember the Gimp, the guy at the end of the movie that's dressed up in leather?
No.
Okay, then yeah, he's got 2 poor bastards who just turned 18 5 hours ago, hide away in his back closet that he's going to show them the new meaning of the pony show.
Okay, I see what's going on. The pastry is called in plural Twinkies. Okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys say that? Like, I thought it was called a twink. Like you're having a twink.
He's
No.
going to have
Yeah,
it.
don't hold your mouth out when don't make that motion when talking about twins.
And don't ever repeat that exact line ever again.
He now gets 2 golden stars for that one.
Yeah, you'll be the
So
first
I
person
have
to get
a
a second
question.
gold
How
star.
does a twink coin come into this?
Well,
Because that's
he has an
apparently a
ice cream
variation of the
truck.
Twinkie.
He has an ice cream truck, and he drives around the local colleges.
No.
And he asked
Anyway,
the young
have
man
a
if
good
they
one,
want to
Shadow,
earn.
and the rest of
You
you.
two guys, I'll see most of you throughout the week. And I will be doing another God Wars episode, maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah.
So stay
Also,
tuned.
Shadow, I am reachable on Discord if you just want to talk to me about something.
Okay, cool.
Normally,
cool.
I'm not here, because time zones, but I couldn't
Right.
sleep.
I'm going to send you a video to watch.
No, I'm not watching anything about Twinks.
Or hand motions.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Okay.